All right, are we good? Are we live? I think we are. Hello all and welcome back to the Women's Football Chat Live. Today, we have a very exciting Sunday of WSL action. Yesterday, we saw a big drop of points for Chelsea, and now Manchester City with a chance to take advantage of that with this fixture against Everton. It should be a really good one today. Everton will be looking up to keep up their good run of form with a win against Liverpool only 2 games ago. So, Harry, is this a fairly comfortable game for City, or is there something for them to be worried about?
I think it's going to be pretty difficult. This is a massive game for both ends of the table, as you say. A huge opportunity for Manchester City today to close that gap. This is the moment they've been waiting for. A Chelsea slip-up. City have to punish, no question about it. They cannot afford to let Chelsea get away with yesterday's result. They have to take advantage. They have to close that gap to within 3 points. For Everton, a big Merseyside derby win a few games ago, but that they took no momentum from that, were tanked on Wednesday by Liverpool, lost the 2 games before that. So Everton, it was a big derby. The derby in the league was a big win. The derby in the cup was absolutely embarrassing, despite the fact, yes, it was a weakened side. But yeah, work for Everton to do today. They need to start picking up points. Every single point puts them further and further away from that relegation spot. They've done all right so far, but with other games today, where you look at some of the games today, teams below them will pick up points today. Everton can't afford to drop it. So for many reasons, it's a big game for both sides.
Yeah, and by all accounts, it sounds like a game that Manchester City should be winning comfortably. However, there's one thing we've learned from the WSL this season is to expect the unexpected. We saw that yesterday with the Leicester side, who nobody in their right mind would have predicted to beat Chelsea. They didn't beat them in the end, they did draw, but they were incredible in that game. Today's a game that City should have comfortably, but we thought the same, as I say, yesterday, so who knows what will happen today. Should be a really interesting one. With that, let's have a look then at the lineups for today's game. We're at, I believe, Walton Hall Park, I want to say, is the name of the Everton ground. And as they are the home side, we'll start with the Toffees. It's a 5-4-1 for Everton today. Of course it is. In goal, Courtney Brosnan, who was immense a couple of games ago in that Merseyside derby. In the back 5, it's Payne, Van Havermet, Finnegan, Hope and Holmgard. Holmgard with a fantastic goal last time out against Tottenham. Then across the 4, it's Payne, Hayashi, Wheeler and Melissa Lawley. And then up front, Katja Snoyce. Decent team. Anything that you'd change in that?
Not really. I think obviously we've seen youngster Izzy Hobson be involved a lot this season, but she is out through a concussion she picked up on Wednesday. So apart from that, it's the expected Everton side. It's a side that are going to have to turn up today and play very, very well. I think they would have been frustrated to not build on that win against Liverpool. Although, yes, it was fortunate, but it was still a big win. But yeah, they'll be hoping today against the odds to try and get something, but expected 11 really.
Yeah, definitely so. They don't have many great options off the bench now. I mean, Beatrice Sari could come on and have an impact. We saw last time 2 first-half substitutions against Tottenham. They scored a few minutes later. They went on to ultimately lose that game, but they did have a moment there where I think they brought on Sari, they brought someone else on who I can't remember now, but that did change the game, and maybe we'll see something like that from Sorensen today. Let's have a look though at Gareth Taylor's Manchester City team. It's a heavily rotated Man City side. In goal, it's Kiara Keating, a back 4 of Kasparai, Alexandri Kennedy and Uahabi. Of course, Alex Greenwood out now with a knee injury. We hope for her sake and for England's sake, obviously, with the Euros on the horizon, that isn't too serious. In the midfield 3, it's Jill Roord, Yui Hasegawa and Jess Park, and a front line of Fowler, Fagino and Blinkilder. Is there a bit of a fear today that City don't pack a punch in that front 3?
I think there will be. I think they pack less of a punch, but I still think that front 3 has enough today to put this Everton side to the sword. But yeah, it is tough times for Manchester City. Chelsea slipping up is kind of, I think, that is the only thing this weekend that's put a smile on the faces of Manchester City fans. Lauren Hemp currently out, Khadija Shaw currently out, and Alex Greenwood out as well. 3 big players there missing for City. They're going to have to make do without them. I think the front 3 is kind of the front 3 we expected. Still no Chloe Kelly in there, favouring to put Blinkilder out wide. But
well, could it be Blinkilder in midfield and Park playing out wide?
So
that would probably make more sense.
Both can do both roles, to be honest. But
both are brilliant footballers.
Yeah, we saw Mary Fowler when she has come in for Khadija Shaw last season and this campaign. She is up to the standard and is a very, very good player in her own right. So. And Fagino hasn't had a great start to life at Manchester City, but did pick up 2 assists in the home game against St Polton. So maybe coming into form there for Fagino. and she needs to be really. Players like Virginia have to start bringing their A game for City, because as they lose key players, this is the opportunity for players like Virginia, like Fowler, to step up and provide when City really, really need it.
Yeah, on Chloe Kelly then, is this sort of the nail in the coffin? Is there any chance we see her in a City shirt after January?
I genuinely don't know. I mean, 2 of the starting front 3 are missing, and Kelly still doesn't get a start. And yeah, that for me says everything you need to know about where Chloe Kelly stands in this City pecking order. But
yeah, and I just can't see. We've got Euro 25 coming up this summer. She'll be hoping to get some minutes in the hope she can keep her spot in the squad. I can't see her sticking around sitting on the bench in Manchester City. I mean, it seems like she'll be in the squad regardless for some reason, but you've got to think she'll look for a move away, and there's undoubtedly going to be clubs vying for her signature. There was interest in the summer, I believe, from PSG. That could be reignited. There will be interest, I imagine, from other WSL clubs. I don't think it would be a bad signing. Maybe if someone like a Liverpool's feeling very ambitious, that is one hell of a signing.
That would be brilliant.
So I think there's definitely opportunity there. Maybe if Brighton just want to keep signing players who were really good a few years ago, English players were very good a few years ago, then maybe they'll keep it up with signing Kelly.
Yeah, that's what I feel bad for Kelly in some instances, because she's not a bad. She's not starting because she's not a good player. She wasn't in form last season and hasn't been given an opportunity to show that once again. For me, today would have been the perfect game. An Everton side who concede goals for fun, it seems to be this season. You're missing 2 key players. I'd have given Kelly the start, given her the opportunity to impress. And if she played 90 minutes and didn't do anything, then you justify not starting her. But for me, today was a really good opportunity to give Chloe Kelly an opportunity to prove that she still can play as good as we know she was.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what she's done to Gareth Taylor.
No, genuinely.
How she's not in this. Because I get that I don't think, in my estimation, to have her ahead of someone like a Fowler or a Lauren Hempen. I can get why you'd want to play players like Firgino, but to shoehorn either Blinkilder or Park out wide today, rather than giving Kelly an opportunity, that for me is really bizarre, because regardless of how big a spat you've had, how big an argument, at some point they've got to try and reconcile it. And even if there's no intention of her staying after January, then why not play her? Why not try and show how good she is in the hope you then get people interested? But alas, she sat on the bench for 6 months, and it's just driven her. If anything, it's driven her price down.
Yeah.
You think, play her today, get a big performance in there. If they are planning on selling her, that's good. If they're not, even better.
Yeah, I think it's one of those where, unfortunately, it looks to be a situation where there's more to it than meets the eye, and it's a shame, because Kelly is a very, very good player, and I think on her day, you think back to the Euros that England won, and that sees that domestic campaign she had for Man City as well, absolutely brilliant. And then she had a bit of a tough time last season and hasn't been given an opportunity since to get back to her best. So a shame for her. I think she will move on, but for City, the front 3 today, got to get the job done. That has to be the key. This Everton side really struggled defensively. We've seen that time and time again this season. And even in the goal scoring department, they lacked a little bit.
It's difficult to pick out one area that Everton struggle in, because realistically they struggle in all of the areas.
Yeah,
they can't build up, they can't hold on to the ball, they can't defend, they can't attack. The problem is I mean, they've done well to pick up the points they have, but you look at the Liverpool game where they were able to pick up some points, and it just and that was very fortunate. The Arsenal game, there was a really good defensive performance, and if they can do something like that, then suddenly maybe there's an opportunity today. But equally, that was a time where Arsenal couldn't hit a barn door with a banjo.
Yeah.
So I think that for Everton, they are very much up against it. It'll be interesting to see what they get from the game.
And as much, I think, obviously, that's the thing, when you compare this to yesterday's game between Chelsea and Leicester, the Chelsea-Leicester game makes a little bit more sense, because Leicester had only conceded 3 goals before that Chelsea game in all competitions this season. Might be a few more than that, but they've been absolutely brilliant defensively. So you could...
it's like 8 in the WSL, I think, Leicester.
Is it 8 now? Blimey, that's a lot, but I thought it was still a lot there. I thought it was a lot less than that. But
that is quite low, to be fair.
I mean, that is still very low, yeah. But
it's 13 now for Leicester.
13? Where on earth have those goals gone in? But
they lost 4-0 to Man City, didn't they, last week?
Basically,
it was like 9.
They're a very, very good defensive unit, and I think that was the key, is that we could always see at home, at the King Power, put up a good fight against Chelsea, and they were clinical. They took the opportunity. When you think about Everton today, They're not as strong defensively. They're not as good as a unit, and they don't take their chances if they create any. And that's a big problem for Everton right now. City, their tails will be up. Yes, they've lost some key players, but they're gonna. It just feels like they're gonna rally together. There's pressure on them, and I think that that does sometimes affect players. But we saw last year that right up until the very end of the season, City didn't feel the pressure. Yes, and I think they did very, very well to deal with that title fight. Today is a big day. If they win, they go 3 points behind Chelsea, and then suddenly, if they beat Chelsea, they're level on points again. And that is, we're in an incredible situation now where City have been handed a lifeline by Chelsea, and they've got to take it with both. They have to take their opportunity today.
Yeah, I think if Chelsea beating Leicester, they go 10 from 10 in the league. There's only one team left to play then, and I believe that West Ham, isn't it? The first game back for Chelsea. So, yeah, at that point, suddenly the door's starting to close on any chance that City get back in, especially when City still have United to play at the start of January, which right now is by no means a foregone conclusion. Yeah. So, I think it's frustrating, I think, for Chelsea, because realistically they should be in a really comfortable position. Yes, this draw, though, does open the door, does open the opportunity up to Manchester City now, and they've got to take it. They can't afford not to take that opportunity today.
And I love the fact that in the WSL at the moment, it's so tight across up and down the league that we're in a position where the team who had a perfect record in the first 9 games make one slip up, and suddenly there's a huge opportunity for another team to come in and catch up to them.
Close the gap to 3 points.
It's just incredible. We're in such a great scenario, and it's the same from an Everton point of view. 3 points puts them in an incredible position in the league. That's mental.
No, it's not too fair. 7th.
Yeah, after Tottenham drew to Brighton yesterday.
Yeah.
Incredible. See, they're nearly going to win that game. That would have been immense. But yeah, Everton, a big opportunity. Any points down at the bottom of the table can be the difference between a couple places. So every point matters.
Yeah, Everton will be hopeful they can get something from today, especially when you look around and you see that Liverpool in 7th. Tough game against Arsenal. Realistically, Arsenal should win that. You've got Crystal Palace below them, who play Manchester United today. Again, realistically, United should win that. West Ham and Villa, that's going to be a really interesting game, because that will dictate which of them is in the title, in the relegation battle, and which of them is probably just above it. Obviously, Villa, the added weight of a debut in management for Sean Goater.
Yeah, second game.
Which is very exciting.
First game of the
Oh, sorry, yeah.
But yeah, he's beaten Charlton, so mate, that's all I need to know. Is he's going to be a phenomenal coach. But yeah, big day at the bottom, especially for those two sides and for Aston Villa. But yeah, City, the pressure's on now. They have to take this opportunity.
Indeed, they do. Well, let's get into some predictions. First, though, welcome to the stream. Chelsea fan who says big up Jack and Harry and has put a prediction there. We'll get into that in a second. Says Chelsea deserved to be beaten yesterday. Was not a good performance. Couldn't agree more. Ryzen says, hey boys, yesterday's games were both weird and uncomfortable. Hoping today is a return to normality. We don't want normality, Ryzen. We want calmness. We want chaos. We want teams getting beaten for no reason every week. So let's see what happens in this game here today. But either way, I think it's going to be a good one. Prediction time then. Harry, where are you? What are your thoughts? Where are you leaning in this game?
I'm very comfortable. I think Manchester City will take advantage of Chelsea's slip up and will punish Everton today. I'll go 3-0 City. I think it'll be pretty convincing, and another clean sheet on the board. I will go goals. Goals from Mary Fowler. I'll go for Gino, and I will go Kasperai for 3 goals for City. And rallying together despite missing key players to close the gap to Chelsea to just 3 points.
Yeah, fair enough. I'm going to go a very modest 1-0 Manchester City victory. I think that they will be a little impotent in attacking areas today. I think without Khadija Shaw in there, without Lauren Hemp, which has been a lot of their attacking play, I think they will struggle potentially for a bit of clinicality. I think they will eventually get a goal, though, because they do have real strength in this side, regardless of those omitted players. And I think it will be Jess Park to score for City. She's been phenomenal this season. And I think in the absence of Shaw and Hemp, she's the most likely to step up as a leader in this team. Either her or Rod. Rod's a fantastic player as well. We saw the two of them combine, obviously, in the game against Leicester for a goal. So maybe we'll see the same again today.
Yeah, City... I think Gareth Taylor yesterday would have been knee sliding across his living room when he saw that Chelsea-Leicester result. And I
got a phone call from the physio and said, Shaw's out for tomorrow. And he cried.
But yeah, luckily, I mean, well, not luckily, you never want a player to be injured, but for City, it's fallen pretty nicely that sure it will be injured over the winter break. She'll be back in the new year for that Manchester derby. So only missing one game through injury, which is much better than it was last season for Khadija Shaw.
Well, they've got the FA Cup game as well, which I don't imagine she will play. But that's not the worst thing. She could even get on for 10 minutes. That's quite a nice game.
Yeah, I think they'll be all right. I don't think they need Khadija Shaw against Ipswich. Is it Ipswich?
Ipswich or Bournemouth, depends on who wins the replay. That might have happened this weekend, I'm not sure.
Either way, I think they might be all right. I have a funny feeling that Man City might cope. Mary Fowler might be enough, but...
Has Gary Taylor got a touchline ban?
No, he's not. Just not on the sideline, but either at Everton, you're either on the sideline or you're out the ground.
Yeah, and both sets of players taking the knee in a stand against all forms of discrimination, but we will now get underway. Mary Fowler knocks it back, and we're underway in this WSL fixture. It's game week 10, and it's Everton versus Manchester City. So City in possession to start here then. Alana Kennedy.
I do find Taylor's, not on being on the touchline approach very interesting.
Yeah, quite a laid back.
Yeah. But it's
calm-mannered one.
You don't see it anywhere else, really.
Man City, really nice football there, just to play through Everton quite easily, if we're honest. Here is Kirsten Kasparai, goes back to Alexandri.
Yeah, there was an overhit pass from Hasegawa that sent Kennedy backwards 10 yards, but if anything, that actually benefited Man City because Everton got excited, ran
threw Everton in.
Yeah, ran all the way up the pitch and then suddenly just got played through.
Yeah. Here's Alana Kennedy and a nice diagonal ball searching for Fagino. Fantastic touch from Ayoba Fagino, who looked to take on Payne here, tries to put the ball into the box. That's a corner for Manchester City. Good block there from Payne, but already we're going to see an interesting battle there. What can Fagino do today? Can she finally sort of kick into gear?
Yeah.
It feels like a season where we've seen bits, we've seen some nice bits of play. Can we finally see Fagino explode into life in the WSL though?
Yeah, definitely so. A huge game last time out in the midweek against Bolton. Got to build on that. And again, looking sharp already today. But also key there is that Kennedy filling in Greenwood's passing range. They were beautiful.
Well-worked routine. Harvey will put that on the goalkeeper, but Brosnan claims well. It's a nice corner routine. They played it short, found Harvey on the edge, who just lifted it towards the back post. No one from Everton, though, able to make good on that. Or no one from City, sorry, able to make good on that opportunity.
Yeah, right idea. It felt like a mix between a shot and a cross and just a little bit too much loft on it. But really good start from City. This is key. They need to get on top. They need to try and find an early goal just to kill off any Everton hope, really, of getting something from the game.
Yeah. Yeah, indeed. Here's Keating on the ball. Another player who's been a big debate this season for Manchester City. It does feel like she's now establishing herself as a first teamer. But then I guess the big call will be who plays Barcelona on Wednesday night. It's not a massively important game, but it's a game that I think City will want to win.
Yeah.
Because it's a game that can really prove where the team is at right now.
Yeah, definitely. And, they will be missing key players, and that could make the difference, and Barcelona could take advantage of that.
Keating will go long, and it's misread by the defence, and Parker's running through on goal, but Brosnan sweeps it up well.
And this is what you do get this with... When you do play Fowler, you do get the more common theme that... Oh my days.
That is risky out the back from Everton, but it's just about worked. Payne will carry it forwards now. It's a nice pass into Lawley. Lawley out wide now, coming inside.
Yeah, I don't think Fowler realised that pass from Brosnan was that close to her. It felt like Fowler could have stuck her foot out and cut it out, and that would have been 1-0 City because there was an open goal.
Hope down the line, back now to Hope.
We've seen Brosnan. Everton are happy to be on the ball. They tried to bat the back against Chelsea, got punished incredibly. Finnegan. They're doing the same today again.
That's a poor pass from Finnegan though, and here come Manchester City. Fowler. But there's just, I get that a few of these glory balls have come off now. But when there are simple passes, it's frustrating to then see them go wrong, like we saw there. Just knock out to your right back, who's in loads of space.
Yeah.
Payne call out there. Van Havermet will get there, though, and stop the cross. Ball out of play from Manchester City on this near side.
City look really sharp. They look up for this. They've been fueled by the fact that Chelsea result yesterday. They really fancy themselves today.
Ball now to Kennedy. Can't quite keep that one in touch, and it's an Everton throw.
That's the thing with obviously Kenny coming in today for the injured Alex Greenwood. Who is a bigger miss? Khadija Shaw or Alex Greenwood?
Oh, that is a tough one.
Because I think
probably Shaw.
Yeah, fair enough.
I think Greenwood's a very good player, but the difference between Kennedy and Greenwood, I think, is smaller than the difference between the front line that City have today and the front line they would have with Khadija Shaw.
I think Hemp's also in that question, but I think the main thing for City will be that Alexandri's back. Because she did have her own injury concerns. If Greenwood had got injured while Alexandria was out, then there'd be in a whole world of bother.
I'd say the most important player is Yui Hasegawa.
Yeah.
Said that numerous times this season.
Yeah.
Fantastic footballer.
That's the one player City cannot afford anything to happen to.
Yeah.
Ever.
I think Rord is another one who's very important. We saw how they looked without Jill Rord. We've seen, of course, this season how they look with Jill Rord. And that is almost night and day. I think the midfield balance is so much better. And here comes Katia Snoyce driving in on goal. She's found a route to goal quite comfortably here. Will take aim, but it's a wild effort, and that's wide of the mark. And again, there's a big chance there for Katia Snoyce, and it's just not anywhere near the target.
City get caught, and Snoyce seems to
drives well into this space.
Just had the pace advantage over
at
everyone.
least trouble the keeper.
She's got to do better. Has to do better. In the penalty area, you're one-on-one with the goalkeeper. Defenders weren't going to get... I mean, I was surprised by the way she managed to burst away from 3 City shirts, but the shot is just poor. So, it was closer to going out for a throw than it was going in the goal.
Yeah, King Hull says Fowler can't play the number 9 role. She's great in a supporting role. Yeah, she's definitely not an out-and-out number 9. I think she can function that role as a bit more of a false 9, a bit more of a creative facet for other players, but I agree that it's not a role she's 100% suited to.
The nice thing you get is the on-running, Park and Blinkilder. It's the main thing, because Fowler drops in, and then you get Park, you get Rord on the not Rord, but you get Park and Blinkilder on the runs beyond, and it brings them into the game much more, which is it's the bonus of having Fowler in there. Obviously, you don't really need that when it is Khadija Shaw, because she just takes the ball and runs past them and scores.
It's unfortunate for City that both of their strikers are out at the same time. I know they've not used Viviana Miedemar as a striker this season, but I think if Shaw was out, that's how they'd use Miedemar. That's a poor pass from Jill Rord. It's just been sloppy from City. A few cheap concessions of the ball.
Started really sharply, and then last minute just keep passing it to Everton.
Yeah.
I think that
just nice as shook.
Yeah. I think that chance just caught them off guard. They were getting, I think they got a little bit comfortable. Yeah, very early doors.
HB describing it as a big chance for Everton.
Yeah, huge chance.
But again, they don't even look close to capitalising on it.
Everton had one effort yesterday, and Goodwin took it. Leicester, sorry. Everton and Snoyce had a huge chance, an even better chance today, and not done anything with it.
Nowhere near the target. Here's Fowler, tries to find a teammate. Now it's to Uahabi. Greenwood. Leila Uahabi now being an aggressive challenge from Lawley, but she does win the ball back, and that's out now for an Everton throw.
Yeah, I think Sorensen we had at the starting side have made a little bit shaky early doors, but I think they're starting to catch City. I think they caught City off guard a little bit and working their way back into the game.
Here's Lawley, wants to take on Uahabi there, but can't.
Yeah, some big battles brewing on this left-hand side. But, Uahabi and Lawley, and then Fagino and Payne. Yeah,
indeed. And I think that one, I really want to see more from Ayoba Fagino. I think City fans have been saying it all season, especially when she's been prioritised over Chloe Kelly. Just want to see more from her. It looks like it's Tony Payne leading the line, and Katia Snoyce playing as a midfielder, by the way.
Yeah.
And then Hayashi also as playing as a left midfielder.
Yeah, I think because Fagino's numbers in the UWSL have actually been pretty decent. Just in the league, not really performed.
Yeah.
I think it's a goal and 2 assists in 5 games in the UWSL.
Fagino?
Yeah, I think so.
But I think the argument there is that Valerenga and SK and St Polten are easier fixtures.
Hammarby and St Polten.
Oh, yeah, sorry, Valerenga play Arsenal.
Yeah.
But, yeah, similar.
Oh, yeah, Polten. I think her goal and 2 assists have come against the 2 games against Polten.
Well, that's the thing, isn't it? They are going to be easier games than the WSL games. And that's the problem, I think, with the Women's Champions League right now, is that you have... The Champions League is supposed to be the most difficult competition, but But until the knockout stage, you realistically only need to beat the other teams. You don't like, other than obviously if you're in the group with, if you're in a group like Arsenal are, where you've got Bayern and Juve, it's a bit more difficult. If you're in the group with Wolfsburg, Lyon, Roma, it's a bit more difficult. But for Chelsea, Real Madrid, and for Barcelona and City, it's a fair formality.
Yeah.
I think obviously with the extension of the Champions League coming next year to an 18-team competition, I think that will be really interesting to see whether that changes and whether that's a bit more difficult of a group stage. We've seen the Men's Champions League that has come into effect. Manchester City are on the brink of not getting through. PSG are currently out. So potentially we'll see a more exciting Champions League group stage next season.
Well, I think there were so many teams that were in the top tournament last year that didn't even qualify for this year's camp. You know, PSG obviously were knocked out. We didn't see Harkin come back. It's some big. Paris FC again didn't make it, and I thought they were pretty handy last year, beating Real Madrid.
Yeah.
So hopefully it will get a little bit more competitive. But to be honest, even with playing the weaker side, City have made hard work of it. You know, they struggled against Bolton away. Hammarby at home was a very close game. They did all right in the other two fixtures against them, but City have made hard work of the Champions League. I think they'll be happy that they've managed to get through.
Yeah, definitely. Chelsea fan says, I have to go. Sadly, enjoy the game, Jack and Harry. Have a good Sunday. Appreciate it, Chelsea fan. Should have a good Sunday. We've got this stream. Then we're live for Arsenal versus Liverpool immediately after, so do join us for that. And then obviously later this evening, start of the Worlds. Well, it starts Championship. Very exciting time of year.
Oh, lovely
Manchester City playing some good football here. Kasparai now roared back to Kirsten Kasparai. Wants to drive inside. Not really the room though. And this is again good compact defending from Everton. Yeah. It's what we haven't seen for a lot of this season. But when they have utilised it, they've come away with good points and good results.
Yeah. City are going to have to find a way to unlock it.
And then if at some point Hayashi can be fouled just outside the penalty area, they might be able to win this game.
Maybe.
That's a chance.
Or Hongard just smashes it home. From,
they're two types of goals. Bergino finds Alexandri. Blinkard Brown.
Yeah, City they're retaining possession really nicely, but they're going to have to find a way to play through.
Fowler can't quite pick up on that one. Harby gets the scraps. Here is Jill Roard. If Everton had a bit more pace in their attack today, I feel confident they may get a goal on the counter. Because City are so high at the moment.
Yeah.
They're leaving two centre-backs back. Both their full-backs are bombing forwards.
Yeah, it's incredible.
So they're that confident that they'll be able to just they'll be able to counter-press their way out of any sort of difficult situations.
Yeah.
Obviously, Hasegawa dropping off a little as well. Bergino finds Harby. Good football. Should result in an attack. Ball into the box. Blocked. Blinkilder Brown shot saved. And that was a good opportunity for Manchester City. Roared couldn't capitalise on it. And then neither could Blinkilder. But a good chance for the Citizens to take the lead.
And this is Everton's problem. It all comes because Lawley just loses discipline and decides to go hunt down Alexandri, which allows Alexandri to knock the ball past her and play into the space that she's left. And City worked a good opportunity. It's a huge block because this raw effort looked destined to go in, and then Blinkilder's shot just lacked the venom, really.
It did come off hoping there. I thought it was a block from Jess Park initially.
Yeah, in an awkward position. I think that effort was looking for the bottom corner, but a key block that. But that's what Everton have got to be careful of. Lawley there just kind of lost positioning and decided to go chase after Alexandri, and it was a really nice piece of footwork to kind of just take Lawley out of the game and open up some space. That's what City have got to do. Because if Everton are going to lose their discipline that easily, then there will be opportunities for City to punish today.
Alexandri finds Roard. Kasparai. Pass inside to Park. Holds onto the ball well. Park, though, with nowhere to go. Hasegawa. And this thing is, as long as Everton remain disciplined, we saw there an opportunity for City came from that lack of discipline, as you mentioned, with Lawley. But they remain disciplined. They play like they are right now. City have nowhere to go. And it's very difficult to break a team down like that. And we've seen before that Gareth Taylor's sides struggle to break low blocks.
Yeah, definitely. It's one of those where it's such a simple element, because it's not... the reason Everton will lose today, it won't be because the way they're playing, it'll be how they play. If they are to lose discipline and just forget about what their role is, they will lose. That's
I
why.
love that Taylor's watching from scaffolding.
Yeah, just up with the cameras.
I mean, you know, we talk about the expansion of the women's game, we talk about the investment in the women's game, and then the next game, you're watching a bloke, the manager is watching from scaffolding.
Yeah.
I know that's his choice and all, but, like, I still find that
the
quite
options
amusing.
are, there's no, like, big bench to go sit on like there is at City. You can go sit up in the stand. It's if that's how he wants, if that's what he wants to do, that's what he wants to do. He gets a better view, tactical view from the.
Yeah.
He's got nearly a bird's eye view of the pitch from up where he is.
If only he was at Tottenham.
Oh yeah.
Tottenham Stadium, we're pretty much looking over it.
Yeah, you can go on at the stadium
So
on the roof.
Yeah. Here is Mary Fowler then. Ball into the box, and that's right on the goalkeeper, but Brosnan does well to claim that in and amongst a collection of City bodies.
Yeah.
And she's gone along with it, but we'll have no idea how that pans out because we're going to watch a replay.
That's well claimed. Could have easily either fallen, stumbled back into her own net, or lost possession of the ball. Well held.
Yeah. Neo TNT asks, why isn't Chloe Kelly starting? That is a very good question, and one I'd love to pose to Gareth Taylor. We can only assume that she has murdered a close relative of his because I have no other explanation for it. Genuinely. Like, you look at the options there today, surely this is an opportunity. Even if the plan is to sell Kelly in January, why not give her an opportunity today?
Yeah.
Because I think she's still a very capable footballer. That is not up for debate, really.
No.
So I find it a really weird situation. Obviously, we know some of what has happened behind the scenes. We don't know it all. So it's difficult to have a full picture. But what could she have possibly done that's so bad that Gareth Taylor couldn't possibly play her in a WSL game?
It's incredible.
I don't know. But it definitely points towards the fact that she won't be at Manchester City beyond the January transfer window. And I'm sure speculation will arise over a potential future destination soon.
Yeah.
I can't imagine she'll be happy sitting on the bench with Euro 25 on the horizon because she'll want to be playing regularly going into that tournament, hoping, of course, to be on the plane for England. So, yeah, I think it is a tough situation, but I just don't know why she's not being given any opportunities. Hossur says, yo, which is your favourite team in the WSL? We are covering City right now, but we are both Chelsea fans. We are neutral as much as we can be on this show. Obviously, if we're watching a Chelsea game and Chelsea score, we might cheer. But we do try and provide neutral coverage and analysis as much as we can.
Mm-hmm.
Manchester City in possession then. Keating. Now Alexandri. Fowler tries to reverse that pass into Blinkilder, but can't quite manage it. And that's one back well in there by Jill Roord. But it definitely feels like City are missing presence up front.
Yeah.
And I think Fowler's a very good player. But you see there, rather than trying to, if Khadija Shaw picks up the ball in that sort of area with her back to goal, she shrugs the defender off and just starts running at goal.
Yeah.
But their Fowler isn't the same sort of player. So she tries to turn, it doesn't quite come off. But, it's just a difference in player. But the problem is for City is they're not used to playing without Khadija Shaw.
Yeah, very much so. City, they struggle against teams like Everton sometimes. But they have got, they've got to hope, they've got to find a way through. Because the difference is, teams like, Chelsea would just find a way through. So that's what they do. And, I think Arsenal's, I know they drew to Everton, but Arsenal would probably, enjoy playing this. With Everton, because this is what confused me about Everton. This is why, against Arsenal, they played a really defensive system where they just got the aim of the game was to get their ball out of their half for 90 minutes, and they took a point. For some reason, against Chelsea and City so far, they've tried to play out of the back and play nice football. And I respect that.
It's not been bad in this game, though. It's worked.
It has been so far. Against Chelsea, it cost them 2 goals.
Yeah.
And I just think as much as you want to play nice football, at the end of the day, sometimes playing defensive and, not great football can keep you in the league.
I think the occasion got to them against Chelsea. They were at Goodison Park, which I think is a slightly larger pitch than this one. And those distances are a bit more difficult to cover when you're not used to playing on a pitch like that. And I thought what we saw was that Everton's passers didn't quite have as much as they needed on them quite a lot of the time.
Yeah.
And they just got outran by Chelsea.
Yeah, I think City, they wouldn't. City will get opportunities today. They've just got to take them. But obviously, usually you would go, okay, that's okay because Noran Hemp clearly sure will just score. But with those two missing, they're relying on players like Fowler and Fagino and co to be clinical.
They're certainly not awful players to rely on, but I get your point. There are players with a bit to prove still in the WSL.
Yeah.
Especially Ayoba Fagino. And it's nice to see some Christmas hats out. Manchester City.
I was going to say Christmas cheer, but the picture those Everton fans are on just look glum. You can't turn up to a football game with a Santa hat on and look that's sad.
Neo asks, is the plan to sell Chloe Kelly? Shaw is definitely a miss. Yeah, completely agree on the Shaw one. Regarding Kelly, we can only assume the plan is to sell Chloe Kelly. The fact that she's played such little football, why keep her?
Yeah.
Why not? I think you can still get a decent fee for Chloe Kelly. She's got a bit of time left on her contract, I believe. So why not look at making some of them money there and then looking at investing in other areas of the squad, maybe finally buying a backup defence midfielder there.
That is probably a good idea.
Yeah, because how much does Kelly go for in this market? 100,000? 200,000 maybe?
Yeah, potentially.
Paris was around 200,000.
Yeah, so I think it'll be closer to 100, just because of the lack of football she's played over the last half a year. But yeah. Is
a loan move outside the realms of possibility?
No, definitely not.
A loan somewhere like Brighton could be a nice fit.
If a team that want to take a gamble on her for 6 months and see what happens, it helps City because it just gets her out of the club.
I think City would prefer a permanent though, because there just seems to be no indication that Taylor wants to play her.
It's a bizarre scenario.
Yeah, and don't get me wrong. I get why people want her to play, but I also get that. I don't think she's a world-class player. Like for me, she wouldn't start for City anyway. But on days like today, when there's no Hemp and there's no Shaw, she should definitely move on, and she should definitely have more minutes than she has had this season.
100%. She started a UWSL game yet? I don't think so.
I thought she's been starting in that.
No, it's been. I don't know. I don't know what they've done with that.
I thought she played a Poulton game.
She might have. But I find it was Fowler, Shaw, Fagino has been the kind of the rotation in there.
She got 63 minutes against Poulton
in the away game.
She started the West Ham game as well in October.
In October, blimey.
Yeah, it's the only WSL fixture she's started this season.
So 1 start in the WSL, 1 start in the WSL.
That's all bench minutes.
2 starts in 15 games so far this season.
Across the competitions, yeah.
Yeah, it's not great reading. That's a shame. But yeah, I hope maybe she'll come on this game and have a real impact.
I'm trying to find the WSL stats on football, but apparently they just don't have enough on Chloe K to even put anything together. In the Champions League, though, she has played 97 minutes across 3 matches, where she's yet to register a goal.
Fair enough.
But yeah. So yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if City are looking at moving on Chloe Kelly. I think there are areas of the squad that need addressing for City. Another centre-back, another defensive midfielder. Maybe not centre-back if Lazel's comfortable playing there. But because she's been injured.
That's another of City's. That's when you actually think about it, City's injury list is really quite long.
But it's no long. But that's the problem. Is you look at it and go, well, it's no longer than. In fact, it's considerably shorter than Chelsea's.
Is it?
Yeah.
Chelsea are missing Buchanan,
Lauren James, Khadija Buchanan, Meili Sumpame, Mia Fischel, Sam Kerr. It's just that you go, well, it's okay because I got Maya Ramirez.
I mean, Chelsea have got 4 strikers. That's an absurd situation to be in.
Well, yeah, but Chelsea have invested in the squad, so they've got that opportunity.
Yeah.
And they wouldn't have bought Maya Ramirez if it wasn't for the injury to Sam Kerr and Mia Fischel, I don't think.
Which actually is, that's why the crowd has a silver lining, because if Chelsea hadn't signed her.
Yeah, this is fantastic from Tony Payne. He just broke away. Yeah, could get a shot away. Looks for the pass instead. It's not come off, and that is a disappointing breakdown of that counter-attacking opportunity. Everton have to get a shot away from here. It's fantastic from Payne. Yeah. City's defence are just getting overran here because they're committing too high to the attack, and Kennedy is simply not as good at recovering as Alex Greenwood.
Yeah.
So you've got Alexandra who commits too early because she's more of a right back than a centre back. Payne gets the other side of her, and then she's got to have a shot.
I've never
Got
known
to have a shot in that position.
never known a striker to burst into the penalty area, get to the edge of the area, and try and
slow
pass.
down and wait for someone to make a run through.
It's just decision making costing Everton again. They could be they've had 2 chances now to take the lead in this game.
Got to be braver. No one wants to pull the trigger. Seemingly,
Mm.
here is Kirsten Kasparai. Now Park. Back now to Alexandri. Fantastic turn from Raw to sell the defender. Blinkilder gets there first, holds on to it well, now pushes it wide for Gino to deliver. Holds on to it, will now deliver a ball into the box, and that is haphazardly dealt with by Everton's going to fall for Tony Payne. I thought that was going to be Alexandri.
The way that
Everyone was leaving it for her. And now here come Everton. And it's Melissa Lawley breaking down this right-hand side. Harvey trying to muscle her off.
That's good defending. That's
really
very
good defending. Lawley will try and take her on. Not going to happen there, though.
Just spins her around into the face of Hasegawa, who can win the ball back. That's Harvey did really well to recover that.
But that's what Alexandri was trying to do as well. But the problem is you can't defend like a fullback in a centre-back position.
No.
Because there's more pressure on it. You can't force someone wide when they're in the middle of the pitch. It's a hell of a way to go. Neo TNT asks, is it true that Sean Goater is the interim boss of Aston Villa? Yes, he took charge of the side against Charlton, and he'll be in the dugout for today's game. The ex-Manchester City striker among a host of other clubs.
Yeah, very good player in his day, and I think his role is very, very different to what Slagers is doing at Arsenal. Slagers at the moment is managing the side. Goater is coming into he's in there just to kind of fill the role. But I think between the experienced players and the other coaches, it will be more just rallying together as a team.
The difference is, I think the decision to sack Jonas Eideval was one that came after months of scrutiny and decision-making, consideration. Yeah. And so the Arsenal had René Slagers there as a ready-made replacement. They've got a list of candidates to replace him. The difference is, of course, with Aston Villa is that I think the Robert De Boer situation was very sudden and a bit reactive. Yeah. Obviously, if the allegations of inappropriate comments are true, then that would have been a very rushed decision to relieve him of his duties. And in which case, they don't really have a plan. But Sean Goat is there, and they'll see what they get from this weekend. You'd have to assume they'll look at a more permanent solution come January, but they've got to be sharpish on that because realistically, you want to have that manager in 1st of Jan. Yeah. Give 2 weeks there where they can make transfers before the FA Cup game. It's a wonderful way to start with an FA Cup fixture because it's a game where they should be comfortable. I think they're playing a second-tier side. I can't remember the full draw now, but I think they're playing a second-tier side. And then, we'll just see how it goes. But on this game though, City all of the ball, not really able to create anything. 2 shots to 1, but only 1 on target across both sides, which of course came from Manchester City. But it's just one of those days for City so far. Really struggling to break down Everton. Yeah,
I mean this weekend so far has kind of been it's been unexpected, yes, but I think after last weekend's goal fest, this weekend is treating us to a little bit more of a calmed down, mellow affairs in front of goal. We only saw 4 goals across the 2 games yesterday.
Yeah.
And today we've seen 3 shots in.
We saw just more in one half in West Ham Crystal Palace last weekend.
Yeah, incredible. City have got to find a way to start putting Everton under more pressure. Yes, they've got all the ball and they're doing really well to hold it about 30, 40 yards out from goal. They've got to find a way to get through this Everton defence and try and put some pressure on the keeper. Maybe Alexandria just run it into the goal.
Which just sprays it wide now, and here's Kirsten Kasparai bursting towards the box. Will deliver it, but it's cleared away.
A lot of low-driven crosses for City at the moment.
Well, the thing is, I think the direction would usually be cross it in, and Khadija Shaw will just head it in.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people, what this game is making me realise, and I'm sure a lot of people have the same revelations, is that a lot of City's goals are just crosses that Khadija Shaw heads in. And the problem is when you don't have Khadija Shaw,
she can't head them in.
You're just crossing to no one.
Mm.
And so their attack relies on them getting the ball wide and crossing it in, but you've got no one to aim for. And Everton are playing a 5-back, meaning there's always 3 centre-backs in there and the opposing full-back. Yeah. Plus the four midfielders they're playing. And they're just Katja Snoyce. No, sorry, Tony Payne, isn't it, that's playing up front today? It's just stood a little higher, waiting a break.
Yeah. This is very much more an Everton performance that we saw against Arsenal than what we saw against Chelsea. And that will worry City a little bit, because Everton held on there for a 0-0 draw. Even when Arsenal did start to be, put a bit of a barrage on them towards the end of the game. But, I mean, these two sides have played each other 16 times, and City have won 16 times. So if that's anything to go by, then City won't be worried.
Yeah, again, though, Chelsea had beaten Leicester in every meeting they've ever had against them before tomorrow.
Yesterday.
Yeah.
Every day.
Yeah. Here is Tony Payne on the edge. Everton corner didn't really come to anything. They will try and recycle it now, though. Ball in from Sada Holmgard. It will be met in the air. And it's there! Everton lead. Everton 1. Manchester City 0. A fantastic ball from Holmgard. And a good header from Hope. And here, City with a chance to close the gap to the leaders. But they're behind after half an hour. They had a corner. It didn't come to anything, but recycled excellently. And it's Everton now who lead by a goal to 0. Everton 1. Manchester City 0.
And it's absolutely brilliant for Everton, and a lovely ball in, and a decent header. But this has to be dealt with for City. To be honest, when the ball went in, I thought it was just going to be easily dealt with. Headed away, or no one.
Keating reacts way too late there.
It's such a bizarre goal for City to concede. It should be dealt with so much easier.
Yeah, it's an uncontested header in the box.
If Kennedy just jumps, she heads the ball. That is a bizarre goal to concede.
Kate just get lost.
Yeah.
She's absolutely lost. Keating can't get across her goal in time. And it's Lucy Hope here who puts Everton in the ascendancy.
Yeah, that ball.
What a huge goal that could be.
Absolutely huge. And it's so it's a lovely header. It's right into the bottom corner. It's a lovely ball in. But between Kennedy and Keating, they have to deal with that. Either Kennedy's got to head it away, or because the reason Keating doesn't save it is because she's a few yards off her line, which means she doesn't have the same amount of time to react to it. But if she's that far off her line anyway, she's got to come for the ball.
Yeah, and we are now, or at least for now, in the utterly insane situation where Chelsea may have dropped points this weekend, yet still extended their gap at the top. City, a lot of work to do now.
Yeah, they'll be kicking themselves. And yes, they're missing key players, but at the end of the day, this 11 on the football pitch right now for Man City should have no problem beating Everton. No problem at all.
And that's smashed away by Hope. And the thing you've given them now is the same thing they had against Liverpool, and it's a lead to defend.
Yeah.
And so what is stopping Everton now being so compact, so narrow, and just stopping anything going into the box? Because City haven't proven that they can attack in any other way.
No.
In this game so far. They keep going wide, they keep trying to drill balls into the box, and it's not really working. There's no space in the penalty area. They have to try and draw this Everton side out, but how do you do that when the Everton side refuse to come at you?
Yeah, just such a bizarre goal for City to concede. When we watched that ball in, just didn't really think anything would come of it. City will just take that and play, get it gone and use it. But yeah, turned out to be a brilliant ball in, and Everton score from it. And now City, they've got to find 2 goals. They have to find 2 goals. This is a chance.
And here it is, Ayoba Fagino will cut inside here. Not really the space for a shot. Finds Jill Ward. Had time there to release an effort, but just doesn't. And then quickly, Everton are surrounding her. Ball out wide now to Kasperai. Lifts it towards the far post. Harvey with a tame header. Easy save for Courtney Brosnan.
Yeah. Not much behind that header, and straight into the path of Brosnan. An easy claim. Better from City. It's a ball in that's finally actually connected to a City player rather than an Everton head.
The connection is so far just sort of headed down to the surface, and it bounces up. Perfect height for Brosnan to catch.
Yeah, really nice. But City have just they've got to do better. Simple as that.
Ball now towards Jess Park. Park shimmies one inside. That's then cleared away. It's out for a City 3.
It's something we've also been critical of City, Arsenal and a bit City as well, is that Arsenal aren't related to this point, but City, they've just got to start shooting. Trying to pass it into the net. Not to be rude to Everton, but There are many players on this City pitch where if they get a yard or two, have the ability to beat Brosnan from range pretty comfortably. If they put it on target, they're going to cause an issue.
You've only got to look at the catalogue of Jess Park goals from this season to see that.
It's incredible. Jill Ward's another one who's brilliant. Shots around the edge of the area. Just got to start pulling the trigger. Because Brosnan's a good goalkeeper, but she can't save everything.
That's brilliantly combative in there from Payne. And now they'll look to break. Heather Payne finds Melissa Lawley. And they're in trouble in Manchester City because Everton are on the counter again. Ball in. Blocked by Alexandri.
Ball needs more on it from Lawley.
Yeah.
Just a little bit more pace.
They're cut out high at the pitch. The City are all over the place right now. Iod went up to the stream saying we need someone good and to get rid of Alana Kennedy. She's not having a particularly strong game here today, is she, Alana Kennedy? And Lucky Abdurazak says, hey lads, good to see you, Lucky. Welcome to the stream, mate. But yeah, 10 minutes left of this first half. Can City find a goal? Can they get back level in this
I think they have to find a goal for half-time to at least be level into half-time. If they're losing into half-time, you're putting a lot of reliance on the last 45 minutes to find 2 goals. And yeah, I think City have got a lot of work to do. That's a ball from... it's a poor ball from Alexandria. I don't know who she's seen. But yes, City have got problems. I think Kennedy, you make a good point. You look at whether, today she starts, they're 1-0 down to Everton. Started against Chelsea, they lost that game. Started against Bolton, yes, they won the game eventually, but they conceded 2 goals to a side that were much worse than them. It's worrying that if you don't have both of Greenwood and Alexandri, City struggle a lot.
The problem as well for City is that you think, oh well, you know what, they've got 3 centre backs, not too bad. Kennedy's caught out, chance for Everton. Tony Payne 1-on-1 has to score. She's tried to round the goalkeeper. What is that from Tony Payne?
That's a huge waste. Kennedy caught in all sorts of issues again, and again she's appealing for the offside, similar to what she was doing for the header. Every time trying to get bailed out by the flag.
The only side in this league that don't have a striker who wants to score. Katja Snoyce does her best to put out for a throw every chance she gets. And Tony Payne just won't shoot.
Oh, that was so bizarre.
Second time now, she had a big opportunity, she's just not shot.
If you're running at the goalkeeper on the right-hand side of the pitch, why would you try and round the goalkeeper to the right-hand side? Because it means what you're doing is you're actually just running away from goal. If you're in the centre of the pitch and you go to the right of the goalkeeper, that's fine. But when you're coming in from the right-hand side, if you try and round her to the right, you're just going to run to the byline.
And if you're 1-on-1 with the goalkeeper...
you should probably shoot.
And there's loads of time and space, have a shot. Because you'll probably put it past her.
So bizarre. Another massive let-off for City. But Everton could be...
because 2-0 suddenly.
They could be 3-0 up in this game. Everton could be 3-0 up in this match. That's... I'm not talking... they've had chances. These are high-quality chances. And Tony Payne's had 2 high-quality chances and not even got a shot away.
And I feel for her because that's going to be playing on her mind now. But this is the WSL. The expectations are high, the pressure's high. You've got to be able to perform.
That doesn't cut it. Not to be harsh, but that doesn't cut it. Her performance so far today just not good enough. Brilliant, well-timed run and a superb ball from, I think it was Lawley. Kennedy, again, in the foot race, just loses the foot race.
She stepped up to try and catch her offside, but she was just nowhere near it.
No. Same happened for the header. The reason she didn't get the header is because as soon as the ball goes in, her hand goes up. She's not even thinking about heading the ball away.
Yeah, she could have just sprinted a bit more.
Yeah.
Headed it. Alas. Lucky says, yesterday we just had to shoot ourselves. Just couldn't take it. Yeah, Chelsea struggled with chance creation as well, to be fair, yesterday. But I agree, we did miss too many opportunities. Iod1 says, without Shaw and Hemp, City is piss poor. I don't think they're piss poor, but I think there are definitely some issues with creating opportunities and finishing opportunities as well.
On paper, they're not.
Chance for Everton. It's there. Everton 2-0, a cut back from replays, and Hanaka Hayashi has made it 2-0 to Everton. What is going on here? Apologies to cut back in such dramatic fashion. If you're looking for someone to blame, ring up the BBC. But Hanaka Hayashi puts Everton 2 goals to the good.
Problems. Huge problems for Manchester City now. And again, City, it's just poor. It's really poor. They get caught high again.
Oh, look who's been caught high. Oh, no. I thought that ball's going to go in behind there. And then I actually left in space. Kasparov doesn't get close enough. It's another one where
Because Alexandri's in the middle of the field at the point that they lose, City lose the ball. That's the problem. And then Kasparov and Kelly just don't get close enough to her. And it's another finish.
She's got to get a lot tighter. It's another one I think you can call Keating's goalkeeping.
Yeah, Kasparov gets a touch on it, but it actually slows it down. It gives Keating more a chance to get there.
Just reacts too late again.
Wow.
And here's City looking to try and come back into this one. For Gino, ball into the box, cleared away.
But that 6-yard box is so packed for Everton.
You're not going to. I don't know why they keep going. Oh yeah, we're going to cross it. Here we go for Gino again. Gives up on the cross that time. Harvey for Gino. Back to Harvey. Will she get there before it runs out of play? She will. Ball in. And well, that was a bit of a mess from Finnegan, but they haven't conceded.
Wow, what a weird weekend so far in the WSL. Chelsea drawing to Leicester. Brighton only getting a point at Tottenham, and now Everton are 2-0 up at home to Manchester City after 40 minutes, and it could be more. That's the worry. It's not that Everton had 2 chances and they've taken them and they're getting fortunate. They're defending well, and they've had a load of their chances. Yeah. And Gareth Taylor's left the scaffolding and he's back on the sideline.
The way this is going, I'm going to be Googling the odds for a
Katie Stengel. Is it bundled in? Is it across the line? No, it's not. Apparently it's not.
That one looked close. I mean, City are going to be frustrated. They don't look...
That's going to need a replay.
They don't look as furious as they could be, if I'm honest.
Yeah.
There. Chance for Everton, Lawley.
Where is Kennedy?
Payne is onside there.
Where's Kennedy?
Payne is onside. It'll go around Keating. That's a penalty, surely.
Flags up, I think. Flags up.
Surely, yeah. The flag
is saved Keating. What is happening in this game? City have one that could have potentially been in the net. Don't know where Alana Kennedy is. Payne, she is offside. If she's not... Yeah, no, she is her front foot. But if she's not offside, that's a penalty to Everton. Because Keating gets it all wrong.
And that's where you ran the goalkeeper. She's figured it out.
There you go. When the keeper comes running out at you. What a mess.
Yeah.
Need to see a replay of that City chance. It looked like it just been bundled in the net.
It looks scrappy, but
I hope for the sake, I think for the referees it wasn't.
I think if it had gone over the line, there would have been much more fury about it from City. Because they called it. They called it, that's over the line. But you remember when that Hannah Hampton goal that Chelsea thought they hadn't gone over the line, it took a good few minutes of calming Chelsea because they were furious. I think if that had gone over the line, City would be there'd be much more animosity.
Yeah,
they're much more animated about it. But yeah, HV says 2-0 Everton. A couple of exclamation marks in there as well. Ginny Weasley, welcome to the stream. Says, as a Chelsea fan, this is relieving to see.
Oh, Ginny Weasley's a big Chelsea fan.
I never knew that. Yeah, they didn't include that in the books.
Didn't mention that in the when they did that. I can't remember.
Harry Potter and 3-Point Lane.
that is a good one. That is a book I'd read.
Just Ginny Weasley go to Chelsea versus Tottenham. That's the whole story. Anyway, here's over for Gino.
And we spoke about, City need to be level going into half-time when they're 1-0 down.
Yeah, well, Harvey, that's not a bad ball into the box, but nobody reacts.
We didn't even consider the fact that they could have been 2-0 down going into half-time.
This could be 4 or 5. If Tony Payne scores the 2 opportunities she's had and was onside for the penalty she won, then this could be a ridiculous.
Tony Payne could have taken this.
She could have a hat-trick, right?
Yeah.
Or at least won a penalty to Katja Snows to go and score.
The problem for City is a difficult thing because half of it I put on the players. The performance has not been good enough. But Taylor has got it wrong today. They're playing too aggressively. They've taken Everton for granted and they've gone way too aggressive and they've been punished.
Yeah. Have Everton changed shape as well? I think they've reacted to City.
Gino cuts in as...
It looks to me like Justine Van Havermet is now playing central midfield.
Yes. Problem is, there's about 7 people on a line. You can't even tell what's going on.
I think it's more of a 4-4-2 now.
Potentially.
This is Brian Sorensen. Fair enough.
Everton have got you spot on. Absolutely spot on in this first half. This was the City opportunity that may have gone in. Let's have a look. Ball comes in. Punched poorly. Did it go in? Oh, no. Oh.
That was a hand on the line, it looked like, from Van Havermet. I'll need to see that one again.
I looked like it could have gone in and been handball.
So,
I think it was both.
Bit of both.
And that will be really frustrating if that is the case.
For Manchester City, indeed. Ball into the box. Header in the wrong direction, and Everton will look to break. Now, I thought there was just nobody there, but Hasegawa has swept up. City just don't have a rest defence anymore. I mean, the rest defence hasn't been brilliant this season, but today they've just gone, well, it hasn't been good, so we'll just get rid of it.
They've got to change the way they're playing, but I think they've got to change personnel at half time. They have to win this game. No, but I think you make a point.
Yeah.
Throw a youngster on at centre half, because it can't be worse than what's happened to Alana Kennedy in this first half.
Yeah. Cody Thomas.
Kelly has to come on for me as well. Kelly has to come on, and Murphy.
Pryor.
Murphy scored in the week. Put her in.
How many players? Do you want 4 changes?
Yeah.
Oh.
But okay, no, maybe 2 or 3. But that has to be the reaction. You want to fight for the title.
Virginia, ball in, blocked. And that is offside though. Offside.
Your title rivals draw to the team 8th in the league, and you go, let's do one better and go 2-0 down to the team who are in 7th. Really poor from City. So the first question is, was this handball from Van Havermet? No, I wouldn't give.
I don't think that.
No, I think it's too close.
And I don't think it was over the line. That's the thing.
Yeah.
I don't think it was quite over the line. Van Havermet competing up there. Does win the ball back. And this is what they can do now, Everton.
Van Havermet's up front.
Van Havermet's now in midfield because they've got the goals. So they've gone to a 4-back now because they're decently comfortable. That's the ball over the top. And Katja Snois is in now. The header's not great, but she could finish it. Big save from Keating. And Katja Snois has fallen over for good measure.
That's a game-changing save. That is a game-saving save. What's going on?
Game-saving change, guys.
If that goes in, City are 3-0 down. And there's no comeback from that.
Yeah. I mean, what is happening? Again, if Katja Snois and Tony Payne were actual strikers, Everton would be 4 or 5-0 up in this game. But that is half-time, and it brings to close a thrilling 45 minutes here on Merseyside. It's Everton 2, Manchester City 0. And a result at half-time nobody was expecting. Wow. A weekend of WSL results that nobody was expecting. We've got another one here. What is going on? And Alex Sinclair has the same question as he joins the chat. Welcome to the stream. He says, wow, just tuned in. What is going on? I've watched 45 minutes and I still couldn't tell you. Alex, been an insane game so far. Romain Johnson, watching the stream, says Man United will beat Manchester City 2-1. Is that about the game later today or is that about the game in January? Either way, interesting prediction. Lucky says, maybe, just maybe, Champions League hangover might catch up to us all. Please. Potentially. Yeah, I'm still feeling a bit knackered from Wednesday night, to be fair.
They are,
but HB saying, what a game, and crying face. Yeah, that sums up.
I don't know. I don't think you can use the Champions League as an excuse for either Chelsea or City, especially for City. They rested really heavily.
Especially not when other teams played in the League Cup in the week.
Yeah.
Everton played in the League Cup. And I know they were playing pretty much their under-16s, but...
Yeah.
Still.
Yeah, and they did lose Hobson in that game, who probably would have played today to a concussion. Yeah. And for City, what should have been a kind of just a regular game where they took advantage of Chelsea slipping up, won the game, closed the gap at the top to 3 points, I don't know what's happened. I can't describe it. Steph Horton looks like she wants to go home, but she's got to now talk on the BBC. But
stick her at centre back second half.
Yeah, genuinely cannot be worse than Alana Kennedy.
Get some boots. Get her out there, but yeah, they've not.
And I'm not putting all the blame on Kennedy. She had a really poor half, but overall, from City across the board, really poor. But and yes, personnel got it wrong. They've got it wrong in terms of they've got it wrong systematically. The tactics are a complete mess. They've gone way too aggressive. They roll right. I genuinely think Taylor and City rocked up today thinking they'd be very comfortable, that they'd beat Everton, and they'd end this weekend 3 points off Chelsea. And that is evident on the pitch. It's just not good enough from City. And Everton are taking advantage of that. The other problem for City is that not only have they been poor, but I think that Everton have been brilliant. So it's not even like you can go, well, if City improve, they're going to win the game. Because I don't think that's the case. Because Everton have been superb. Both I say in the final third, they could have scored 5. They've only got 2. And they could have had a penalty if Payne had timed their run properly because Keating then just took her out. And I think that defensively as well, superb from Everton. They've been there was one moment from Lawley where she was ill-disciplined. City nearly scored from it. Apart from that, no player in an Everton shirt has put a foot wrong in the defensive third of the pitch, and that is showing. They've been absolutely superb.
Yeah, it's been exemplary from Everton. I want to get onto that, but I first want to talk about Manchester City because City's shape has been abysmal. I mean, I've never seen an attacking shape of 2-1-4-3 before, but that's what it feels like to me. You've got both fullbacks up at all opportunities. Hasegawa's the only player, and the two centre-backs staying back at, a lot of the time. It's just not functional. Like, they keep giving the ball away, and then Everton turn around and go, well, let's run into all of this space.
Yeah.
And that may work when Alexandri's there and when Greenwood's there. And I know they've got Alexandri still today, but it's not working. And so that they've got to change that. The rest of the season for City has been poor as it is. Today it's got even worse. And that for me is a big issue. You can't afford to send both wing backs forward at all times. Or both fullbacks. I don't think we've seen enough from Eva Pagino, but she's done more than any of the other attackers have, and that says a lot really. Park has been ineffective on the right flank with
shock.
Blinkilda Brown hasn't been great in attacking midfield. Mary Fowler struggled to get into the game. Even Jill Ward hasn't really been in the game. She keeps picking up the ball on the edge of the area, but it is so packed the box that they don't know what to do in that situation.
Yeah.
And the problem that they keep finding themselves in is that even when they draw Everton in, they try and play through them, but then they're a bit too slow in an air, and it just allows Everton players to get back in. And even so, they keep crossing the ball into a box that has a sea of Everton shirts in it. What they think is going to happen, I don't know. Yeah. But at the moment, what's happening is Van Havermaet, Finnegan, or Hope will head it away.
Yeah, and I mean,
clear it away or knee it out of play.
Yeah, I think City have got quite fortunate. Everton, I think, in the attacking third, it's been the same problems all season. They've been really poor. And that sounds weird to say because they're 2-0 against Man City, but Everton have lacked clinicality like they have in every game this season, but they've had so many chances, it doesn't matter.
To judge it off of statistical big chances, they've had 2, and they've scored 2 goals. Now, they have missed one of those big chances, and I think that was Tony Payne's where she tried to... But to be fair...
Does it count if they'd have a shot?
I think it would be a big chance, yeah, because that's not expected goals. That's
fair enough.
Separate.
There's been 2 where Payne could have scored, or at least shot, and smartest, but yeah.
But that they may... Yeah, I don't know whether they would go down. Depends on the expected threat, I think.
Yeah, the 2 goals that did go in, brilliant finishes. The second from Hiyashi was a really nice shot from the edge of the area, and the header from Hope, was well guided.
Honestly, this Everton side have done really well here. If they had a forward line that had players that were in form or had a bit of confidence or could just shoot, they would be doing really well. In fact, they'd be 4-5-0 in this game.
They genuinely could be.
Genuinely would be. City 6 shots, which is 1 more than Everton, but only 3 on target. Everton have had 4 shots on target. I mean, it's just either way, only 6 shots against Everton's abysmal reading.
They've got to realise that having 70-80% of the ball means absolutely nothing if you don't do anything with it. And I think they're in a position now where, because they need goals, I think the only way to go about it is to lose a little bit of that control. Maybe you might have less possession, but you've got to throw more people at it. You've got to be more attacking.
Yeah.
And there's no point attacking in a measured way anymore. They have to go for the game.
Yeah, Everton have made 66 passes. Accurate passes. Only 22 of those were in the Man City half. And yet they have had 6 shots and they have scored 2 goals, and it could be so many more.
Everton have been brilliant, but City are handing this to them on a silver platter. How do you have 66 passes in 45 minutes? That's near.
City have got 200 just in Everton's half.
That's like incredible. If you 66 passes in 45 minutes, that has to be a new low.
They've almost had more throw-ins.
That is absurd. But they're using it well. That they are. Yeah. They're taking advantage of Man City's poor play.
5 touches in the opposition box as well. Throw that in there.
They had 66 passes, yet they had 5 touches in City's penalty area.
As many shots as they've had touches in City's penalty area. But that's what you got to do.
Yeah.
You get there, you have a shot.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think this did go in for people saying that City should have had a goal. I just don't think it's handball. For me, I think it's down Van Havemet, and the argument will be it does stop it going in the goal.
There's no good angle of it.
No. But the fact that Kennedy is a yard away from it and her appeal is to just put her hands in the air and look at the liner and then give up on it, that says to me that it didn't go in. Because if it had gone in, I'd expect her to be running over and screaming. Yeah. But equally, she had a poor game, so she wasn't watching that one either. So
HB says these stats are killing me. Yeah, I want to read about Gareth Taylor and just watch his live reaction. Because I think that would be an amusing exercise.
But this is where I like Gareth Taylor. I think he's a very decent manager. But the problem is I think his laid-back approach can cost him today. Because he has to go in there and be livid. If he goes in...
Need a bollocking.
Yeah, he spent half an hour up on some piece of scaffolding with the BBC cameraman. And that doesn't... I don't think... I mean, I know that's his way of doing it. Fair enough. But if he goes in there at half-time and is all a bit, very positive and just, very laid-back and calm... They don't need that. That doesn't help anyone.
I find it very difficult, though, to be positive. I just don't know what he's going to say.
I know, but he doesn't seem like... I don't know. He doesn't... For me, he doesn't seem like the guy who gets angry. And when he does get angry, he doesn't seem like the guy who would, inspire me to run through a brick wall. Potentially
not. But people, can assert their authority in different ways. Some people don't have to scream and shout.
That is true.
I agree that, that can be the best way to get the message across in a situation like this. But equally... As long as the message is that was simply not good enough.
Yeah, that's the main thing. But I worry for City because if Chelsea last season were in this position, or I know this is a bad time to say this because they played really poorly yesterday, but if a Sonia Bonpastor Chelsea or an Emma Hayes Chelsea were 2-0 down at half-time somehow to Everton, don't know what happened last season for that to happen, then I would have backed them to come out in the second half and win the game 3-2. For City, I just don't see it happening. I really don't see it happening. Even if they up their game. But we'll see, won't we? Big 45.
Brilliant highlights package that was from Everton Chelsea. Apparently there was 4 shots all game and 2 of them went in.
I mean, Brighton Tottenham was an even weirder game. I don't know how Tottenham have drawn that game.
Yeah, it was. I was confused to where on earth that result's come from.
If based on what we've already seen this weekend, Liverpool are about to beat Arsenal. Yeah, Aston Villa West Ham's going to be 4-4, and Crystal Palace will beat United.
I was going to say, I'm sticking a 10 on a Katie Stengel double.
Yeah. What?
I'm going to be a rich man tonight.
It has just been a mental weekend of WSL action.
Yeah. Everton need to sign Beth England because she's really good at scoring goals. Montserrat says, hope he puts in Lily Murphy. Yeah, you know what? Let's talk changes. Where would you look? 1 attacking, 1 defensive? 2 changes, 3 changes. What are you feeling?
I think you have to. I would definitely go Murphy. Scored in the week. Got to prove a point. Yeah. Got to bring her on. And then I guess you could bring Cody Thomas into the back line.
Cody Thomas or Grace Pryor.
Yeah, perhaps Pryor centre for Kennedy. Just get Kennedy. I don't bring Kay. Bring on. You can't. I'm not blaming her, but a player can't play like that in a WSL match. It's been so poor. Just really, really poor.
Yeah.
And it's where hopefully Greenwood...
The problem for City is, and this is why I don't think they're going to win the league this season, is that, I mean, obviously today's performance speaks volumes, but there are so many areas of the squad where I think maybe, they need another centre-back. They need another defensive midfielder. They need another forward player, probably. They need another midfielder. That, for me, they're too far off. Because you look at Chelsea, and 1 player goes down injured, there's 3 on the bench that are jumping up and ready to go. You look at City, and today there's no Shaw and there's no Hemp, and suddenly their attack looks ineffective. There's no Alex Greenwood, and their defence looks disorganised. That, for me, speaks volumes about where City are right now. Their first 11 can compete with anyone in the world. We saw that when they played Barcelona. Brilliant in that game. Tactically excellent, brilliant performance. But once those injuries come in, once rotation has to come in, I just don't see how they're able to compete. And especially now they're playing Champions League football as well, which is only going to add more to the schedule. They'll be hoping to go deep in at least one of the 2 cup competitions. Yeah. Because they've not won anything in a couple of seasons down Manchester City. That, for me, is a big problem. And unless in January they're going to have a huge spending spree where they end up adding 4 or 5 players, which comes with its own issues because you're going to upset the balance of the squad by doing that. So unless you're going to do that, you're going to end up with a situation where City just aren't competitive at the sharp end for every game in the season. And you can't, when you're playing against a team like Chelsea or competing against a team like Chelsea for the title, who are so brilliantly consistent, you've got to be just as good as that, if not better, to be able to compete.
Yeah. I mean, if you're a centre-half that wants to join WSL, fancy yourself in January, because I think Chelsea, City and also Liverpool need a centre-half. So, centre-halves outside WSL, watch out, because there's a lot of teams that need a centre-half. But yeah, City, it's really worrying that you lose a couple of players and suddenly they fall apart. And, you know, if they were to lose another player, you know, Roy or Hasegawa, they're in huge trouble. And suddenly, if they are to lose today and Arsenal beat Liverpool, then there's suddenly a huge debate as to who's more in the title race.
Because Arsenal will be a point off City.
And you think about how poorly Arsenal started this season. It's absolutely incredible.
Yeah.
I know Arsenal have been on an incredible run under Slagers and are yet to lose, although that could change based on the way this weekend's going. But yeah, it's really worrying for City. There's two things that happen now. Either they lose today and they're in a really poor situation, or they somehow come back and it is going to be the best 45 minutes we have seen from Manchester City in the last few years. And that will be, either way, it's be great to watch.
I was going to say, it really does need to, doesn't it, for Manchester City? There is still 45 minutes, and it's of course, as you say, worth talking about that, because there is still a possibility that City turn this around. They are a very decent team, a very good team. They can turn this one around, but it's going to take effort and it's going to take hard work, and they've got to be reactive.
Yeah.
They've got to be proactive, rather than reactive. We've seen it too often this season where the substitutions, the changes are too reactive. They wait until after something's happened. They wait until after it's all gone wrong to go and make changes.
Yeah.
Marlon Steele says City will come back. Well, we will see, Marlon. Lucky says this weekend might just go down as the best in the season. Unexpected. Murphy can also dribble at least. Fowler, these last league games look completely lost. Can't find a place in the game. Lucky says, imagine Arsenal winning it at the end. That would be the ultimate story, wouldn't it? Jonas Eidevall would have to come along and collect a winner's medal.
Rene Slagers would be like that. It's incredible.
Well, that's the thing as well, isn't it? You know, Slagers is in until Christmas. Whether or not she gets the job permanently or not, we'll see. But potentially we see someone else come in the role, and then you never know.
Yeah.
Depending on the appointment, you never know. New says we lost CGH Day. I can't believe she might miss the City cooking on the 17th. That's Barcelona, isn't it?
I think at this rate, I think you might be all right.
I think Barcelona are probably all right anyway.
Yeah.
Oh God, they've lost Graham Hansen. What are they going to do now? Have to play Claudio Pina?
Oh, feel poor.
Vicky Lopez.
Travesty.
How will Barcelona cope? But alas, let's get back into the action then. Everton with the kickoffs to get us back underway, and they've pumped it right to the corner. Is this a sign of things to come for Everton?
Maybe.
And that has gone out for a goal kick. They just don't want the ball. They just don't want it.
There's no City changes.
I mean, that for me speaks volumes.
How no manager can watch their side play like that and think, oh, that's all right, let's go do that. The same 11 players, go do that again. No, that is not Kennedy.
And that is Fagino playing right back. So, what's happened? I think Kennedy's playing left centre back now.
Oh, okay.
It's just they are not just bombing all of their fullbacks on every time.
I was confused. I thought Kasparov was playing right centre half.
So Fagino has swapped flanks.
Where is Kennedy? No, that's Uwahabi over there.
Yeah. I don't.
That's Murphy, isn't it? I think on the left hand side.
Yeah, that is. So Alana Kennedy is off for Murphy.
Kasparov's gone to centre half. Fagino's gone to right back. And Murphy's gone to the left wing.
I think they might just have a 3-back now.
Well, yeah, just
because Kasparov's coming forwards.
Oh yeah. Wow, they're going for it.
And so Zua Harvey. They're just playing one centre back.
They literally just go put Alexandri on the halfway line.
Yeah. That wasn't the way I expected this to go. When I said their rest defence isn't working, so they've torn it up, I didn't think they'd go, well, you know what? We haven't torn it all up yet.
Get rid of it.
It's just, we don't have a rest defence now.
Yeah.
But yes. HB says it's either the hate watch they're successful or we have an even better game with at least 3 more goals. Win-win situation. Fair enough, HB. Darwin says, yes, Everton. Welcome to the stream, Darwin. Are you a Chelsea fan or Everton fan?
I mean, this is Everton's best run of the season by a country mile.
Well, yeah, undoubtedly. It's the first game where they've actually looked good defensively and in
Scored
attacking
2
areas.
goals, isn't it? Definitely one of the first they've scored 2 goals in.
Yeah. They scored 1 against Liverpool. They scored
1 against Tottenham.
1 against West Ham, 1 against Tottenham.
That's a good ball in from City. Fowler
Playing-
got jumped.
playing from Brosnan, though. Darwin is a Chelsea fan. There we go.
Fair enough.
They were the option.
This is not a bad ball in from Fabinho. I'm not sure. Would Fowler get there if she jumped? No. Fair enough.
They've got 1 against Palace was the other one they've got.
This is the first game of the season where they've scored more than 1 goal in the game.
Yeah. And it came against Man City of all
In
teams.
the WSL. Wow.
And the season could have been a hell of a lot more
Yeah.
if Tony Payne was a striker and if Katja Snoyce wasn't trying to, I don't know, miss
Score
every
field
opportunity.
goals.
Yeah, Everton up to 8th in the league, in the live league table, 9 points. Even more interestingly, they would go level on points with Liverpool.
What is happening?
What is happening in the WSL?
How are
this
they
season?
all there?
Here is Tony Payne carrying up the line. Well, because they don't have any footballers.
That is
Bit of a
true.
problem. Lawley now coming down this left-hand side. Ball in towards Payne. Hasn't really worked out. Lawley will try and compete. Has a goal. That is brilliant. But Payne competes for it and wins it back.
That's gone out. Yeah,
Will be a
good.
City throw. Worth noting as well, by the way, Everton still missing Aurora Ghali, who's out for the season with a ACL injury,
Yes.
which is a fantastic achievement. But what a huge loss that is, and yet they're still competing. And their summer window was really not impressive. They signed Lawley on a free, and Beatrice Sari, and Payne from Sevilla as well.
Yeah. It wasn't the kind of window I looked at and went, wow. But yeah, it's worked. It's working. Well, it's working today.
Yeah. Here is Sarah Hongard. I think Everton's plan now is to hold it in the corner for 50 minutes.
They are genuinely time wasting in the 49th minute.
HB says, huge fan of Hasegawa, such a tidy player. Undoubtedly. One of the best players in world football right now.
Yeah.
City would be nowhere without her. And Shaw, obviously. I mean, Hasegawa can do it all, but I don't think she could put up Shaw's goal output.
No.
But she is so important to the way they play and pretty much everything they do. Defensive linchpin in this side. News says, is Keating to blame for any of those goals? Is Yamashita bench for poor performances, or Keating has been better? Keating's been better than Yamashita, I think, this season. For the goals today,
This is good. Fowler.
shot blocked and cleared away. For the goals today, I think it would be harsh to blame her solely, but I
Yeah.
think she could have done more on both of them.
That's just it, yeah. It's not like you don't sit here and go, that's
Blunders.
Keating's fault they've
Yeah.
conceded, but you sit there and go, probably could have done better. Like, even if she didn't save them, could have got a bit closer to them at least.
The I think both of them she could have saved.
Mm.
Lawley tries to get around Ua Harvey. Ua Harvey does well, though, just to see her off. Now let Ua Harvey ball down the line into Murphy. Murphy back to Ua Harvey.
Even if City win this, that
That's
first
the
45 will still be, just like still remain incredible to me.
Yeah.
And if City do go on to win this, this will be one of the best WSL games we've seen in a long time. Murphy,
Ball into the box, and that is headed away.
that's probably one of the best crosses I've seen today.
I actually clips up the line. She's been shoved off there by Kasparai. Alexandra will go back to Keating.
Murphy's done well
And
there
it's
to
nice
realise
pressure on, but it will go to Alexandra.
the crosses have to go far post. Because if you put them around the penalty area, there's 3 centre halves waiting there just to just clear it. If you go far post, you're putting the opposition, you're putting your your teammate in a one-on-one situation, which they can win.
It's insane it took them that long to figure that one out.
Yeah, and it took the youngster to come on and put the first good ball in.
Yeah, indeed.
Because here, this ball puts Fagino in a one-on-one with Holmgard. And I mean, I know Holmgard dealt with that very nicely, but there's more chance Fagino wins a one-on-one than Fowler wins a 1-on-3.
Either way, none of them are going to win it in the air.
No, good from Murphy again.
Chance now for Murphy again. Puts it on the floor. Should be touch time. Chance goes gaping for Jill Rawd.
Just has to poke it home. Murphy's looked really sharp. Just being direct. Really nice. Oh, that's a great. It's a great ball. Broad has to
She
score.
gets a touch on that. No,
Does she get a
just pokes it
it's
wide.
something? There's a touch on it from the defender.
Yeah, there is a touch on it.
Oh, she has to score
Can't direct it to the goal.
She has to score that.
I will say though, the fact that she has got a touch in it, the fact that it is off the stud,
Yeah.
could she have extended her leg any more? Probably not. So maybe she reacted slightly early, you could say, but that is,
The annoyance with the fact that she got there. If she'd missed it, then it's like, oh, fair enough. She couldn't quite go on the end of it. The fact she got there would say that. Just point it, just in a general, that's a chance. That's a big chance. But City doing better, causing more issues.
Yeah.
Well, I say City doing better. Murphy's caused 2 problems.
Crazy horse up to the strings. I bet $100. Let's go Everton.
This is brilliant football once again. It's Murphy again.
Got to put the ball across the box.
Yeah.
That's blocked. And that's out now for a corner. But yeah, Crazy horse, if you put $100 on Everton before kickoff, that must be an incredible winning.
Yeah.
But yeah, blocked well there by Heather Payne. It's a really good game, Payne.
Yeah. Incredible. Every single,
Shut down for Gino first half.
Mm.
I mean, Murphy has been causing us some issues. Set piece routine for City then. Corner into the box. Rord puts it in the air. Brosnan has no trouble. And she'll go to ground. And Everton are going to eke out 45 minutes.
We're going to end up at double digits additional time.
Oh, and we're going to be here till gone. Arsenal Liverpool will have finished.
5 minutes in.
That'll be over, mate. Time this one finishes. Like another 90. Hasegawa.
Yeah, see, that's superb from Hasegawa. She's
Just
won it back 3 times.
Ball in behind. Tony Payne's one-on-one with the keeper. We've heard this story before. The touch isn't great. She's got options to pass to and she chooses to shoot and it's blocked.
I've never had a striker that either not release a shot or take so long to get one away. Again, I mean, Hasegawa won the ball back 3 times and City still didn't keep possession. There has to come the shot before Cashbry gets in.
Yeah, at least had a shot this time.
Yeah, that makes a change.
Great ball. Poked through wonderfully in there. And yeah, Payne does well.
Yeah.
But just want to put the ball in the back of the net. For her sake.
Brian's on his hands on his head because he can't believe that Payne has not scored.
But Wheeler poked it through well. And Payne could have done more. Home guard. Ball into the box. Hope heads and this one's saved. Falls for Hayashi and that one's blocked. I know it came off
No, that was
horribly.
Shot one way and then ball went a different way.
Still left confused by that one. But there
Another
we go.
header from Hope.
Well, she was hoping it would go in, but alas.
Oh yeah, call that all wrong. Hasegawa, Hayashi.
Yes. Here is Hasegawa.
Who's been involved in the goals for Everton this season? I want to say joint top goal scorer.
An inspired Tony. I mean, I don't really know why West Ham let her go.
No.
It's a free transfer. I know they've got Katrina Gorey, but no reason why they both can't play.
Trying too
Picked
much
up again by Wheeler, and Wheeler will play Payne in behind, and here goes Tony Payne again in behind. Puts it inside to Holmgard. Holmgard holds on to it well. Payne. Blocked now by Kasparai.
And wins a corner, but Everton are happy just to keep winning corners all again. Roard overcomplicating it in the middle of the park, gets dispossessed.
I've got a new drinking game. Have a drink every time Manchester City get caught out.
And Tony Payne runs through.
You'll be pissed by half time at the moment.
Yeah, just.
Romain Johnson says Chelsea women go won 6 in a row. Well, they won 9 in a row in the league. And a lot in a row in all comps.
Yeah.
12, I think it was. No, 14. But a draw yesterday brought that run to an end.
Well, Lawley's corner didn't even enter the pitch.
And well, Chelsea could go six times in a row if they win the league this season, of course.
I just can't believe, as it stands, Chelsea have gained a point on City. Despite
We're drawing a Leicester. What a bad result it was, but it may not have any ramifications for the table. Here come Everton.
City have lost it again.
No, I thought it was about to be Tony Payne in behind. So just run it high.
Who was there? Why did they play to Payne?
Because she'll run it into the corner. Well, it looks. Maybe that's what they want to
Yeah.
do now. Tony Payne's brilliant for this situation. Looks like she could go in on goal, just runs off to the corner. Van Avermaet almost gets there. In no rush to get the ball back.
No.
Man City now. Kasparai, Virginia. Now Kirsten Kasparai. The thing to note as well on Tony Payne is while we're making light of it, it's been a really good performance from her. You know, she's getting in behind really well. Yeah. It's just that final touch. Her timing of the run is excellent.
Wow.
The ability to win the ball back up the pitch from her teammates has been excellent. She's just getting into the final third and it all falls apart.
Murphy's directness is really helping City. That's another ball in.
And that is headed away. We approach the hour mark now and still no shift in the scoreboard.
Do you think more changes have got to come? It's just bizarre for City. They're starting to get the point where 3 goals is going to be, they're going to have to start thinking about the win and have to hope to rescue a point. With half an hour to go, there's still a chance they can get all 3 goals, but in 5-10 minutes, they're going to have to forget about their hopes of winning this game. They're coming forward and they're getting caught in the corner. Who Harvey does well to win a corner. Got to start using set pieces as well. That routine they did on their first corner that nearly worked. We haven't seen that again. Probably because Everton might cut onto it, but now they seem to just pump the ball into the box. Murphy's looked sharp. She's not even on the pitch. They are trying something different. Here we go, routine. Will it work?
Just Park takes aim, it's blocked, and then hooked away. And where is Tony Payne? Oh, she's wrong side.
Like, you get a corner.
It's Kasper.
The one thing that's been going wrong is putting the ball in the box.
Yeah.
So you take it short, but then use it.
Yeah, lots in chat. New says, about Chelsea yesterday, I dare say that they have not been as good all season and mostly scraped by. Against Lyon, Barca, etc., they will be exposed. I've heard this opinion a lot, and I can't agree with it at all. I think watching Chelsea this season, it may not be the most pretty football, but most of the time they are completely dominant. In the game yesterday, they had 28 shots. It was just uncharacteristically poor finishing. On another day, they score a lot of those, and then it looks like a very different game. So I get why, because it was a drop of points to Leicester, it's a game they shouldn't have drawn, why people would make comments like that. But I think that, the better comparison for how they'll play against Barca and Lyon is how they've played against City and Arsenal. And the fact that they looked so good in those games, and Real Madrid, well, they didn't look quite as good, but still.
Oh, terrible pass from home guard.
That's how they'll be able to play against those sides. That's how they'll set up, and that's how they'll get through those kind of ties. So I wouldn't be too worried yet. The other thing to note is that Chelsea are in the first phase of Bompastor's reign.
Yeah.
And undoubtedly her tactic will evolve over time and her squad will evolve to be more to her suiting, to her liking. So, I think a lot of people panicking after a result that didn't go Chelsea's way. And I know the performance wasn't brilliant against Brighton the week before. But I don't think it's panic stations yet.
And at the end of the day, they are going to gain a point on City and still remain unbeaten as it stands.
Yeah.
Murphy, again, really good play. Takes 2 players out of the game. Yeah, it's not a great pass, though.
It's Kasparai. Virginia wants to drive inside here. Can she take aim? Lifts it in towards the box. Fowler tries to head it on. Falls now for Uahabi. Blocked. Falls for Murphy. That's over the bar. Just got under that too much there, Murphy.
City are now getting joy from being direct. Murphy on the left-hand side and Firmino there. Just cuts inside. Becomes direct and gets a better ball in. Murphy just got to keep that down.
Yeah. Adak Place says Chelsea hasn't done anything special in the league that Arsenal women have not done. They would have if they'd won yesterday. They'd been the first side in WSL history to win all their first 10 matches. Didn't quite come off. Change for City. Took 60 minutes, but here comes Chloe Kelly.
I mean, it's a huge
chance
opportunity.
now to show what she can do. Blin Brown up in her place. Yi Jian's just got here. Oh my god, what happened? Good question. Difficult one to explain. City have not played very well. Everton played very well. Everton have been brilliant defensively, countered effectively. City's rest defence is fairly woeful. And now they're in a really tough spot with only half an hour remaining. Anna as well wants to says, what the hell is going on? Don't support either, but massive Arsenal fans are hoping for Everton to win. Well, that's the thing, isn't it? That Arsenal can move a point off City now if this result stays the same.
It's incredible. Absolutely incredible. Yeah, it's been a mental game. 62 minutes, absolutely crazy. City have got. There's a chance. I still think there's a chance. If Chloe Kelly has got, I think Kelly's the right sub because she, very direct winger. Murphy's getting a lot of joy from just running at Everton rather than sitting off them and then putting a ball into the box. Murphy's being direct and running at them. If Kelly can come on and do the same, they're going to start to cause Everton a few problems, at the back. Isolate the fullbacks, take them one-on-one, and then suddenly you start to stretch the team. Got to be the plan for City. Just under half an hour to go, though. They're running out of time.
But here come Manchester City. Jess Park carrying the ball forwards, knocks it wide. Here's Murphy. Nice footwork from Murphy. Goes back now to Yui Hasegawa. Alexandri Kasparai. Here now is Chloe Kelly. Through the legs of home guards. But then it's swept up well by Hayashi.
My idea that though, again, taking on the, the fact that Hayashi's covering in behind the wing backs speaks, volumes of the way Everton are playing right now.
Yeah. Hasegawa. Now Ueharvey. Goes back to Yui Hasegawa. Lelu Ueharvey. Now Park. Hasegawa. Alexandri. Hasegawa. Is there a full pass on? Not quite. Ueharvey again. City hold on to the ball well, but they're just not passionate.
They've done loads of the ball.
Brilliant possession team.
That's a great ball.
They were 79% in the first half. I think it'll be higher in the second.
Yeah. That's a corner. Much better football than that. That's the first pass we've seen that's kind of found a gap in the Everton backline. Lovely ball from Kasparai into the on-running for Gino, who puts a decent ball in, but once again turned away by an Everton player.
Yeah. News says, ever since you made the Skinner in video, he's been low-key cooking. Are you guys now convinced by Skinner ball?
No.
Not 100%, but I'm more...
Yeah, it does. Yeah, the way he's played, yeah, I think so.
Ball in from Kelly. That will go over the top, but we swept up by Murphy. Yeah, head of the curve on that one.
Yeah, we smashed that. Well done us.
Yeah.
But yeah, I do think that Man United look really sharp. They're playing some really nice football. They could go and undo that all today if they had to lose to Crystal Palace, but I don't see that happening. I think it could be quite a convincing and comfortable victory.
For Gino. Kelly. Ball in. Chance for City. Goes begging. But it is cleared by Everton. That will be a City corner. Ryan says, my fantasy WSL team is in shreds this week. Same here. Captain Shaw. Vice captain's on Carno, who got 2 yesterday. Well, I've got 3 Chelsea, 3 City, so both of those sides are doing poorly.
I only had 1 Chelsea, so I got away with that. But I have got 2 City defenders, and Khadija Shaw captained. But my vice is Russo, so that could.
Well, I've got 2 Liverpool players, so
that's good.
And one Arsenal. So
who's getting subbed in for Shaw?
Mike Carto.
Well, you never know. I've got Hansen against West Ham.
You do never know. I benched Berg's as well against Tottenham, which I now think is a bit silly. But equally, I think I looked at my backline of Kasparai against Everton, Bright against Leicester, and Fox against Liverpool. I thought, well, that could be 3 clean sheets. Hasn't materialised that way. Might be no clean sheets.
Yeah.
I've got 2 United players as well, so at least I might get some points there. But yeah, and I've just got a notification. Join us live in 30 minutes.
Fun.
for Arsenal versus Liverpool.
Yeah.
Liverpool versus Arsenal.
Yeah, another big game that I'm expecting that game to be a little bit less shocking, but you never know. Could a spirited and depleted Liverpool side pull off a big upset there? I'd be surprised, saying that Arsenal are unbeaten under Rene Slagers.
Yeah.
And have only been prevented victory by Manchester United.
Yeah, Rizzo over for Gino. Now goes
Kelly and Murphy as top sides.
Yeah. It's interesting because I think Murphy's done really well on that left-hand side.
Yeah.
Unless I think she'll have more luck against Holmgard, but that's fantastic defending from Holmgard.
Given a free kick, apparently. Not quite sure why.
I'm a bit miffed by that when I'm honest. I thought,
yeah.
Utterly brilliant tackle.
Yeah, have another look.
Once she's past him, Murphy, Holmgard has no right to get that ball.
Yeah.
Does so well just to manage to get in front of it.
Yeah, not sure what she has wrong there, to be honest.
Neither.
City set pick, and she got booked for it as well.
Bit of an odd one.
Yeah.
Anna says it's nice to see men supporting women's football. Yeah, I wish there were more.
Yeah.
More in the community. I think when you go to games, you do see there are quite a few men there. I think it's just that, especially in the online space, it's much more, and understandably so, especially with content creation, it's much more dominated, of course, by women, which is completely understandable, of course.
Yeah.
But yeah, it would be good to see more men getting involved.
That is such a bizarre 30 seconds for City. They've got a free kick in a good position. They go and the ball in from Kelly is just not good enough. They lose the ball and then Noah Harvey goes and commits a foul further down the pitch. It's so bizarre. And they're just not. I don't know. I think they're at. They need realistically they need 3 goals in 20 minutes. They'll do well to get 2 goals in 20 minutes.
Yichen asked what happened to Shaw, an injury. We heard about this yesterday.
Training on Thursday, I think, or Friday.
Yeah, and then the press conference, which I didn't see until this morning. Shaw out injured for this game. Expect to be back in the new year. Whether she'll be back in time to face United or not, I'm not sure we know yet. But we'll find out. That looked like a foul from Jess Parker. It's been given as such. And a free kick for Everton.
20 minutes. It's one of those where it looks like City are running out of time. If they were to score in the next 5 minutes, though, then suddenly it's like we only need 1 goal in 15.
Yeah.
It's incredible how a goal or two could completely change the circumstances of this game. But Wheeler doing well to run to the corner. Park just a bit over aggressive. Committing the foul. 20 minutes to play. I mean, if Everton would score from this would be game over.
Yeah.
And one of the most surprising wins in the WSL. Well held by Keating, though, and City are going to go, no, they're not. Why has Keating not kicked the ball?
Ball out wide.
The one time they want to catch Everton out of shape and they didn't take it quick enough. And then the pass has gone out of play.
Oh,
wow. I don't get that. You get the defensive side, you catch the ball from a set piece, just go. You've got to go.
Yeah. Right, so I suppose it could be worse. Could have used the wall, referring to Fantasy WSL. That could have been bad. Rising with my clean sheets. Judgment says, I'm back. Wow, 2-0 Chelsea should be counting themselves lucky.
Yeah, huge let-off.
It's a let-off for Chelsea, indeed. With that draw, a draw against Leicester, that should be... That's a poor result, and it should be punished. And City have just not done that today.
And the only team that might punish could be Arsenal. And then suddenly, with City's, players they're missing, and the form that Arsenal are in, there comes a debate as to who has more chance of winning the title, City or Arsenal. Obviously, Chelsea obviously could be top of that list.
Yeah. Well, I don't think we can count United out. They'll be on 21 as well if they win today.
I forget, yeah.
And they play City at the start of January.
Yeah.
They've not played City yet.
United could...
And granted, they lost to Chelsea and definitely should have lost to Arsenal, but that by no means they're going to lose to City.
United's upturn in form and performance this season is coinciding with an Arsenal side who started really slow and a City side who just haven't been at the races.
Yeah. Indeed. Kelly. Now Kasper. I think the winter break's come at a really good time for City.
Yeah.
Really poor time for United because they just started building momentum.
Is Hemp back after the winter break or not?
Should be.
Obviously, Greenwood, we don't know. Hopefully.
Well, yeah, we just got to hope she's back for the Euros, really. I think it's the bigger concern right now. I don't think we're going to see much of her for a few months, you would have to assume. Just kicking off in Crystal Palace and in the game between Crystal Palace and Merseyside and Aston Villa and West Ham. So we'll keep tabs across those games throughout our coverage this afternoon.
That's the first shot of the game from Roard from the edge of the area, taking 72 minutes. And again, she hasn't got loads of space, so I don't know why. It's not a bad effort with the little space that she's got. Playing well by Brosnan, who was, we cut back and she still hasn't released the ball. Employing the dark arts now of Sorensen and Everton. This would be a memorable win and a win that could really kickstart. Well, they've not had a bad campaign, but could really kickstart, them staying in the league.
Yeah. I had one say City is less than ordinary without Bunny. Hemp can't come back in this fixture. Now, 17 minutes. It feels like it's too late now for them to win this.
It's like 2 changes.
I can't see them getting 3 goals.
I know the bench is a bit depleted, but
the problem is you're not going to bring defenders on.
No.
They've got Laura Coombs left. Does that make them a better attacking outfit than having Rawdon Park? Probably not. So I get what you mean. Just get fresh legs on, but who is on this bench is going to add a goal? Realistically, no one.
Yeah, true.
So I won't criticise Taylor too heavily today.
Well, I think first off, I got it wrong. Went way too aggressive, but
yeah,
that was in terms of his personal selection's been fine. He's tactically got it wrong today.
Yeah. Anna says, don't you think the points gap from Chelsea to Arsenal is too big though? I hate to say it, but 7 points off. If we win, I still think that's too big a gap. Yeah, what we're saying is though, who is closest to Chelsea right now, and so obviously City in terms of actual points right now are closest. But if Arsenal are 7 points off and City are 6 points off, that difference is fairly negligible. So who are closer to Chelsea right now? Well, there's a conversation for Arsenal. There's a conversation for Manchester United.
Yeah, definitely. And when you look at when they played each other this season, I think United gave Chelsea the most difficult game. Yeah.
Hansi Clark says, what's the vibe? Are they being outplayed by Everton or just a good low block? Well, I wouldn't say outplayed. It depends on how you view football as a whole, really. But City have had all of the possession, so in theory they've been the side in control and they've been dominating the game, but they've just not been penetrative enough because Everton have played really well defensively. Yeah. We saw it against Arsenal. Everton are a good defensive outfit. The difference today is that City have gone so aggressively that they left space in the first half for themselves to be countered. And Everton were fairly clinical. I mean, yeah, they could have been way more clinical and they could have been 4 or 5-0 up in the first half with the chances they had. But City were overcommitting both fullbacks to attack. It left them very vulnerable to the counter-attack. And then Everton were very good at winning the ball back, turning it over in good areas, and then looking to find players like Tony Payne in behind. I mean, all we've done today is watch Tony Payne running behind, especially first half. Second half, it hasn't really happened, but really good performance.
Yeah.
Really good performance from Everton. And now what we're seeing in this second half is they've changed their shape, which is very unexpected from a side like Everton who are struggling. When you start winning, that you tend to stick with the formation you're playing. But what they've done really effectively is switch to a 4-4-2, which has allowed them to be a little more narrow, a little more compact, without really giving off the... they're not really been able to attack. They're not really able to counter. So there's a bit of a trade-off there. But it has meant that they're a lot more or even more difficult to break down.
Yeah. And a brilliant start as well for Sean Goater and Aston Villa.
Are they leading already?
They're taking the lead at West Ham inside the first minute.
So Crystal Palace all over again. This is West Ham's new thing.
Let's concede really early. And
2 goals last 10 minutes and they win 5-2. Ivan says, I'll criticise Taylor. He should have started Murphy coming off a brilliant game in the week. His choices are bad. I think today it was a tough one, but today exposes City as a whole rather than just Taylor, and that they are way too reliant on Khadija Shaw and on Lauren Hemp.
Yeah, because I think
and on Alex Greenwood. But I think we knew all that before
even though I think with Greenwood today, I think they're still lost.
Probably because they've just had nothing in attacking errors. Maybe they probably would have drawn because I think their defensive organisation would have been a bit better. But yeah, this is not a good reflection on City.
Everton are one of those teams, you give them something to defend and they will defend like their life depends on it. They did it in the Merseyside derby against Liverpool. They won that game. Yes, they didn't score against Arsenal, but they still had a point to hold on to and they defended it well. Laura Coombs is coming on with 13 minutes to go.
That's what I mean. What attacking upside does bringing on Laura Coombs bring you? Goal, by the way, scored by Adriana Leon for Aston Villa in that game.
Huge goal.
As it stands, Villa climbed to 7th.
Yeah, and this is the thing, it's what we're saying in the video on Friday. If you haven't watched it, go watch it after this evening's action. But yeah, it's one of those, a couple points puts you in an incredible position.
I mean, as it stands, everyone in the bottom 6 bar West Ham has got points. I mean, obviously, Liverpool haven't started yet, but they will get a point when they kick off. And Crystal Palace have only just started. Yeah. But as it stands, everyone's doing well.
Another good chance. This great ball in from Kelly. Fowler's got to turn that home. Again, this should be a goal. Brilliant from Kelly. Does well to wriggle away from Hayashi. Puts a good ball in. Fowler's movement's brilliant. Just doesn't get any contact on the ball at all.
Yeah.
And it rolls straight through to Brosnan.
Ryan says you did talk about the squad depth thing in your season preview and it's coming back to bite City. I think that's why I put Arsenal second in my predictions.
Yeah, you did put Arsenal.
I think I put Arsenal second. I think I said because City will run out of steam.
Yeah. Didn't see the fact that Idaho get sacked and Slagers would come in and they'd win.
I have a feeling I predicted Idaho get sacked, to be fair.
Maybe.
That does sound realistic.
Yeah. But, equally, I think everyone in Nan thought it was going to happen at some point.
And by the way, Tony Payne is no longer be running in behind because they've subbed her off. So that's boring, but Ollison is on in her place.
Van Havermet's down. Now, we've seen a few players go down. We see Brosnan went down with a knee injury that magically fixed itself. And now,
the goalkeeper ones are more suspect, aren't they? Because you're not going to want to bring your player off for a bit. I think Van Havermet's is genuine. Hansi Clark saying 100% agree that Taylor has not been rotating and bringing new players. I mean, Park was the latest addition, really. Well, if you go back to the last transfer window, they lost Steph Houghton and they didn't replace her. They lost Esme Morgan, and I would say that Naomi Lazelle is a replacement for her, but obviously she's now out injured, so that one is a bit more difficult. But they've just never bought a backup striker since Ellen White left.
Yeah.
They've just not bothered getting another striker.
So I don't think Fowler you can count as an out-and-out striker.
No, she's a winger. And if you do count as a striker, they don't have enough wingers on the team.
Yeah.
So that's the problem, isn't it? They signed Ioba Fagino this summer. Is she a fantastic addition? I think she's a good young player with promise, but this was the season where if City kicked on, they could have taken advantage of the fact that Chelsea had a new manager and that things might have been bumpy. Ultimately, things haven't been bumpy.
Would Pritchard have been? It would be a better option to replace to play over Fowler up front.
I don't think she's ready. I think they made the right decision to loan her out, and I think she'll come back next season better for it.
Potentially.
But
I think you look at the involvement for Murphy, especially, has looked really, really sharp. She's come on today and looked, one of City's best players.
Yeah, that is true. Maybe Pritchard would have been the same, but I think watching Pritchard at Palace this season, she doesn't look 100% ready. So, I know she hasn't had a whole host of minutes because they've mainly gone to Katie Stengel up front.
That was the more concerning thing for City, actually.
Is that they've loaned her and she's not playing much. Yeah.
Should have probably played, similar, perhaps a little bit less, but should have played UWCL minutes. Well, if City are going to get anything out of this game, it's going to take something.
Harvey tries to find Kelly, can't. Anna says, has there been much stoppage time? There should be. I haven't been time wasting since minute 1.
Yeah.
No, it's just minute 46. Ball into the box. Going to find Murphy now. Can she get a shot away? Tries to find Fagino and can't. Everton looking to break. Picked up by Kasparai. So far, the French league currently has a closer title race than WSL. That's not really a surprise. PSG and Lyon are both really good teams.
It's more that the WSL isn't close this year rather than the French league is close.
Yeah, I get it. Yeah, but I think it's big that I think the gap between like fifth and last is smaller than the gap between first and second.
Yeah.
Or well, yeah, sixth and last is 5 points. The gap between first and second will now be 6 points.
Yeah, it's incredible. It's absolutely incredible.
So from Tottenham to Palace, and if the results stay the same as they are now, then the gap from 7th to 12th will be 3 points. That's all of the bottom half of the table.
Yeah.
It's so tight.
The other thing I find
Here's Kelly. Ball into the box. It's on the goalkeeper. It's pushed away. Will it be bundled home? No. Foul, and Brosnan saved it anyway, to be fair.
Yeah. Well, I always find it interesting when teams, drop points on the same weekend. It's just it's a really interesting way to like. If Chelsea had won yesterday, would City have won today? Yeah, that's an interesting way. Have City lost today?
Conundrum.
Would they have lost anyway, or had they lost today because because
what if Chelsea lost yesterday? What would City draw?
Exactly. Yeah, it's a weird thing.
How do you think Joe has been transitioning at Lyon? I'll be honest, I don't watch much of the French league, so this is a question better posed to someone who does. But from what I've seen in the Champions League, they do look good.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's gonna be interesting. I think that's the thing that gives me belief in Chelsea this season and their hopes of winning the Champions League is that you've got Lyon under new management, Barcelona under new management, and Chelsea under new management. So there's no disadvantage.
Yeah.
And I think of the three coaches, Bon Pasteur is undoubtedly the best.
Yeah.
So I think it's an interesting one. But it's going to be tight. Emma Bissell coming on and one other player. That is Vietri Sari.
Yeah.
So a double change is coming. I think that'll be Sarah Holmgard coming off.
Yeah, probably.
He was just receiving treatment.
Looks like is he actually going to left back?
Just momentarily.
Oh yeah.
Well, because they went to make a change. Alexandri for Gino goes back to Keating. City will look to play out now. Keating to Harvey. Kasparov. Now Alexandri. She'll carry the ball forward for Manchester City. Is there an option on? Goes into Fowler. Fowler squares it and no one there though. There's no one there to the box.
But again, things like that happening too late. You see, that's the best run Fowler's made all game. But it's in the 85th minute.
Yeah.
So it doesn't matter. Here comes a double change for Everton then.
So that will be Sarah Holmgard off for Vietri Sari. Sari moves into that left back position that Holmgard was occupying, and then Katja Snoys off for Emma Bissell.
Brian Sorensen just doesn't look like a manager, does he? He's a cat. He's got his gloves on. He's just wearing some pair of trousers and a coat. I mean, I don't know. It's cold. He's gonna wait. Yeah.
That's like he's just stumbled in off the street and then gone
for a walk at the park.
But no, brilliant. I mean, I've criticised Brian Johnson at times this season, but I think today they've nailed it.
They have.
Well done, Sorensen.
In certain games, they've got it spot on this year.
Yeah, Arsenal and City.
Yeah.
What games to show up for, eh?
Yeah. To show up.
And Liverpool. I mean,
yeah. That one's a bit more.
Brosnan was really good, and Kirsty Dowie.
Yeah. The referee had a great time.
Like you said, never easy with pressure to capitalise on the title. Would have been a different game if Chelsea didn't drop points. No panic or overconfidence from City. City's in trouble when they look to Coombs. Well, this was the thing. I remember laughing when we were at the bridge because City were 2-0 down, desperately needed a goal, and on come Laura Coombs and Chloe Kelly. And that, for me, shows the difference in the title race.
Yeah.
City's depth is just like...
But even today, the fact that Murphy and Kelly have come on and probably been City's two best players.
But again, that speaks volumes because Chelsea aren't turning to Lola Brown as their last hope. She's playing Champions League minutes and it's exciting to see a homegrown talent come through, but it's not out of desperation.
It's not. I mean, Murphy has been more involved, a lot more involved, in terms of she's played a lot more minutes already this season.
Yeah. Hansi says, not going to lie, big shock that Everton have held strong. It just shows how the current schedule of national UWCL and league games is taking.
Yeah, but Everton played in the League Cup. You know, that's a penalty.
That's a penalty. That's clumsy from Sari.
And this is where things get interesting.
And this is a chance of Manchester. It was Ollison, sorry. Drag down Hasegawa in the box.
I mean, I can't imagine being brought on to hold on to against Man City and give away a penalty.
That is not just silly.
Clumsy.
What are you thinking?
Really clumsy. This is a lifeline of the City. If this goes in, they've got 2 minutes plus any additional time.
I'm sorry, unless she's about to release the trigger and it looks like it's going to go in.
Yeah.
And why do that there?
Yeah. Really silly.
That is a silly decision for Caroline Ollison. It puts the result suddenly in jeopardy. Fowler from 12 yards.
This is getting very, very interesting. Very interesting. Huge opportunity for Fowler.
Puts the ball on the spot. Brosnan narrowing her eyes, trying to put her off. Mary Fowler steps up and finishes straight down the middle. Everton 2, Manchester City 1, and City are suddenly back alive in this game. Fowler with a goal from the spot. Everton 2, City 1.
Huge goal. Back in the game, and now this is going to get very, very tasty in these last few moments.
She knuckleballed that penalty.
Yes. And Brosnan got a hand
to it.
And it was hit so hard
that
she didn't stand a chance.
I don't know why I haven't seen people knuckleball pens before.
That's quite a good strategy.
It's just from watching Jeremy Lynch.
Yeah.
And again, Everton take a kick off and launch it.
Love it.
Into the corner.
Thornton does not care what people think about how his side play football. It's brilliant. They're going to go now, City. No way do they do this. Alexandri. And it'd be incredible though to put it. They score in the next minute or two. They've got additional time to find another one.
Yep. This is squeaky bum time for Everton.
How many minutes of additional we going for?
Part of the season, I'll say 5.
I'll go 4. I think it'll be a little bit less than that.
Boring prediction. News says, is Gareth a good coach, or does he just have Shaw and Hemp?
He's a good coach.
I think he's a good manager. We saw in the Barcelona game this season, that was coached superbly.
Yeah. I mean, Brosnan is taking our time here. And we'll send it long again. This could be very interesting. How many additional minutes have we got?
5 minutes of additional time. And Sorensen just wants this game to be over, really, but he's telling his players to slow it down, calm it down. That's out for Manchester City throw. Colin Everton says Hansi Clark. And that's a yellow card for whom? I believe it's Brian Sorensen.
I thought it was on the bench, wasn't it? For City.
I thought it was an Everton bench.
Oh, potentially.
But this side, aren't they, Everton?
No, they're on that side. There's Sorensen.
Oh, yeah. No, it's the City bench.
So someone on the City bench.
Keating.
I mean, with 4 minutes to go, it's not quite urgent, is it, from City?
Oh, that's a poor touch from Murphy. It's a minute killed.
Yeah.
For a yellow card, for Everton just smashing the ball to the corner. I love that new kick-off routine.
Yeah.
I'm going to use it.
Just that you're
smashing into the corner.
Winning a game, bang.
Sapphire says Alexis Putellas has been confirmed available against City after injury. Fair enough. I mean, a good player. Bloody good player. Don't think it makes a huge load of difference, though. You know, oh God, we've got to play Patrick Aguero, Tana Bonmati, or Alexis Putellas. All fantastic players.
Yeah. Just not happening for City, is it? Just not happening for them. They've got 3 minutes.
Self flicks it on. Kasparai, Alexandri now.
At the end of the day, a point means they don't lose ground to Chelsea, but it's just a massive missed opportunity.
Yeah.
And Everton will just feel they'll be so frustrated. This should be a win for Everton.
Yeah. Asagawa. Forward pass finds Kelly. Sorry, Coombs. Here's Asagawa now. Manages to pick out Rord back to Kelly out wide. And that is a tame cross. Comes off an Everton player and into the gloves of Courtney Brosnan. Hansi says this is where the mentality comes into play. Calm, confident, keep possession.
Yeah.
I think Everton's is more smash it into the corner. Nervy.
Yeah.
Don't touch the ball. Sarah Holmgard given player of the match.
It's interesting.
Is that the player you'd have given it to? She was good.
She was alright, yeah. I don't think she was player of the match.
I'd have gone Van Havermaet, I think.
Yeah, Van Havermaet's been very good. I think Hiyashi played well again.
Boring to go for goal scorers, though, isn't it?
Oh, yeah. I forgot she scored, to be honest. Payne, superb running behind.
Yeah. Or both Paynes, to be fair. Payne's had a great game.
Yeah.
Not only running in behind, though, which is obviously part of the WSL player of the match
Criteria. Minute and a half. I bet Sorensen's got in that earbud. He's just playing We Are the Champions. He's having a great time. He wants to be home and dry.
Poor Barbie girl. How she sends it long. Here's Keating. Midbean says, do you have any info on Alex Greenwood? We do not, unfortunately. All we know is it's a knee injury. We'll await further information from the club. There's going to be fears it's an ACL because it's related to the knee, but obviously we've not seen anything of that nature just yet. Wait for the sake of England and for City that it's not ACL. ACL will likely rule her out for all of 2025, let alone just the end of this season and the Euros. So, yeah, hopefully it is not that serious. It's Asagawa.
City just can't find a way through with 30 seconds to go. They just cannot find a way through.
Alexandria from range, and that is wide.
Yeah, and that you think that'll be that as Brosnan takes her time to run round her goal and get the ball.
And there's a goal in the WSL. Aston Villa 1, West Ham 1. Vivian Assayi keeps up her good run of form with another goal for the Hammers, and they are level.
Sean Goater's incredible start has been halted momentarily. Tasty game that though. That could get very interesting.
Brosnan smashes it long. Ball goes forward from Holmgard. It's now with Keating. Alexandra
Looks at the watch from Sorensen. He is screaming at the referee to blow a whistle.
Hayashi. Now Hasegawa.
Still playing.
Harvey. And that is a full-time whistle here on Merseyside. Everton 2, Manchester City 1. And City, with a chance to close the gap on the leaders, have dropped points, have lost a game to Everton. It's been a fantastic way to start WSL Sunday. We're on over to Arsenal Liverpool now. Head on over to that stream page. We'll be live in just a moment, and we'll probably end up talking about this a bit there. But so join us over there. Thank you guys very much for watching. Big win for Everton. Big drop points for Man City. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you in a minute.